Bada bing, bada boom. We are back in business for the first live stream of the new year 2026. Are y'all ready to have some fun tonight? I hope so, because I have a cram-packed live stream. We are going to break down both of the top trending headlines. We're going to break down and expose both of the biggest operations going on in America right now. And as you guys know, this channel is going to break down these operations in detail in a way that no other channel on this here tube has the balls or the intelligence to do. So with that said, are you guys ready to have some fun tonight? Do me a favor, smash the thumbs up right away. We're going to be breaking down the Maduro operation. Then we're going to be breaking down the Minneapolis ice bang, bang, pow, pow incident. And then if we have any time, we're going to finish up with the up-to-the-minute breaking news on what's going on in Portland. Now, before we start the show, and we have a lot to get to tonight. I have so many video clips to show you guys tonight. Before we get started, we have a super generous super chat from Doxological Thinker. He says, happy 10 years on YouTube, Jake. Keep up the amazing work. Excited for the first stream of 2026. Thanks for exposing Saddam Hussein, Maduro. Also, I live in Minnesota, close to all the shenanigans. So thanks for exposing all that too. Wake them up. Wow. What a very generous super chat to get us started tonight. And this gets me extra excited because I stayed up all last night researching both of these psyops. And I kept finding more and more stuff. I'm like, holy cow, I am going to have a cram-packed stream. So I am not messing around. Tonight's stream is going to be loaded with all sorts of information and content you're not going to get anywhere else. So hopefully you guys are ready for a good one. And we got a lot of stuff to get to tonight. So I'm going to try and keep the stream rolling and keep the pace going. And man, last night after I finished up with the Maduro thing, and then I got into the Minneapolis bang, bang, pow, pow incident. And then every few minutes, YouTube would keep recommending me more and more and more. And so it was like, okay, you guys ready to dive in? Before we do, let me say hi to a bunch of people here. And thank you again, Doxological Thinker, for your very generous super chat. That is, wow. I can't thank you guys enough. I really have the best audience in all of YouTube. And tonight, I'm going to give you the very best stream I can possibly give to you. All right. So we have Lex G says, sup, Jake. Rose Bell in the house says, congratulations on 10 years. So towards the end of this month, it will be officially 10 years of me doing this here on YouTube. And of course, we started as the Flat Earth Asshole channel, and we have evolved into the Jake the Awake channel. And now I talk about all sorts of different topics and subjects beyond just the possibility of the Earth not being what we're told. So we have expanded and moved into all sorts of different subjects. And now it's like we break down whatever the world stage news is. I break down whatever the top stories that are trending here in America. And I break down the fake phony news for you guys. It looks like I have another super chat coming in from Julie Bidney. Says Trumptricity World. That's right. As you guys know, I shut the electricity off in Venezuela. And then, amen, it was quite impressive. We swooped in there. We snatched up Maduro. They had no idea what was going on. And then we promptly, very rapidly, I might add, we expedited him back to America. And now, of course, he is awaiting his trial. He's already pled not guilty. But as you and I know, he's very guilty. Now, the reason I was able to shut off the electricity in Venezuela is very simple. Electricity is old, it's outdated, it's crusty, it's dusty. And that is why here in America, we're going to be installing Trumptricity very soon, possibly by the end of this year. And nobody, I repeat, nobody will ever be able to shut off Trumptricity. So we have the power to shut off the electricity in any country in the world. It's a very wonderful power to have. And of course, that is how we were able to turn the lights out, so to speak, on Maduro and promptly snatch him up and bring him back to justice. There will be no injustice in Venezuela as far as I'm concerned. We're going to be installing our own leader in Venezuela. He's going to be much better than Maduro. So look forward to Trumptricity in your homes very soon. I'm cleaning up the world. I'm not just cleaning up the streets. We're not just getting rid of the criminals here in America. We're getting rid of the international criminals all over the world. There you go. Little Trump impression to get us started, right? And that's actually a lot more well-spoken than the current Trump. If I show you videos of what Trump's been saying lately, he's not making much sense. He's sounding a lot more like Joe Biden these days, right? So Trump's speaking ability has declined quite rapidly over the last 2-3 years. Actually, just the last year, I've noticed that when Trump speaks, it's usually an AI Trump, not making any sense. And nobody's calling it out except for me. I'm like the only guy calling out the AI Trump. And they used a lot of AI Trump recently. We're going to get to that tonight as well. See Me Rollin' says, wow, 10 years? I thought you came out like 5 or so years ago when I found you like 2 years ago. Congrats. No. You can go to my video list and then go to oldest, and you will see I started January 26th, 2016, and I fired up my phone in my living room, just fired up my iPhone, started talking about how the Earth is not a globe and how NASA is faking space missions. And that was the very first video that led to all this that you see today. I had no idea it would be a decade later, right? I just had the insatiable urge to talk about the fact that Earth wasn't a globe. I had my mind blown in 2015 that Earth wasn't a globe. So by 2016, I couldn't shut up about it, and I had to talk about it. And so I saw guys like Eric Dubé talking about it, and Matt Powerland and Mark Sargent, who all turned out to be agents. Little did I know I was going to basically infiltrate a controlled rollout run by agents and be the only real guy bringing you flat Earth content and becoming popular organically. Wow. And now the flat Earth subject's essentially dead in the water, but I'm still here breaking down the psyops on the world stage. They didn't get rid of me. Still here. Hanging tough. Thank you very much, See Me Rollin'. Yes, my history is for real. It was not manufactured. You can go back and trace my steps since I started. RY3926 says, Jake, when it's time for impressions, can you please do Trump singing Holla Back Girl by Gwen Stefani? Well, let me tell you something. A few times I've been around that track, and it's not just going to happen like that, because I ain't no holla back girl. Ain't no holla back girl. Few times, so it's not just going to happen like that. The reason why? It's because I ain't no holla back girl. Ain't no holla back girl. And that's why people are mocking my dance, like Maduro. He was mocking my little dance that I like to do. You know, that cool dance where I do this when I dance to YMCA, the coolest song there's ever been. Turns out Maduro was mocking my dance moves, which was part of the reason why I had him chapters. That's going to teach any of these world leaders out there who want to mock my dance moves. Yeah, that quick. I can capture you and remove you from power. That's the power that I have. I'm the only president you've ever seen who can remove other world dictators from the scene like that. There you go. Little Trump holla back girl for you. And let me tell you something. This BANAAS bananas. This shit is bananas, quite frankly. BANANAS. All right. Let me bring up my watch page. I haven't even done that yet. Hopefully, we're coming in strong tonight with a nice, strong signal. Every once in a while, I deal with internet issues and I'm all glitchy looking and shit. So hopefully that's not the case tonight. All right, I look pretty good on my end. Let me make sure I've caught up on all the super chats. And then we're going to go ahead and get started because I have a lot to break down tonight. So many video clips tonight. There's other nights where I'm like scraping the bottom of the barrel looking for shit about for you guys, but that is not the case tonight. Tonight I have more than I even need to fill at least 3 hours. All right, so Doxological Thinker, Julie, See Me Rolling, and RY. Okay, so we're all caught up on super chats, so now we can go ahead and get the show officially started. Are you guys ready? Hey, they're starting 2026 with some pretty strong psyops. The public has been duped, of course. All the sheeple are falling for both these psyops I'm going to talk about tonight. But as you guys know, this is not a gathering place for sheeple. So, of course, I did not fall for that shit. And I know my audience didn't fall for that shit. And if you guys have looked into either one of these psyops yet, you've probably already found some inconsistencies and straight up bold-faced bullshit, right? So we're going to get to all that and a lot more. You guys ready? All right. So let's start with Maduro, the capture of Maduro, because that's what happened first. And then we'll get to the Minnesota ICE incident and break that down. How's that sound? All right, so we'll start with this Maduro guy who looks an awful lot like Saddam Hussein. He just so happens to be a ringer for Saddam Hussein. And they back in the 90s, they had these parody movies of Top Gun where Charlie Sheen was in this parody of Top Gun called Hot Shots. And they had a fake Saddam Hussein in the Hot Shots movies who looked almost exactly like the real Saddam Hussein. So they have no shortage of actors who look like Saddam Hussein. And even back in the movie Hot Shots and Hot Shots Part 2, they had this fake Saddam Hussein villain character. So I find it no coincidence that Maduro looks very much like Saddam Hussein. So let's start with the breaking news that Maduro was captured. And this was from a few days ago. And we'll start with his capture, and then we'll work our way to him being expedited and him going to court already and pleading not guilty. Within a matter of days, the guy was in court pleading not guilty. All right, here we go. Strap in, kiddies. It's going to be a good one.
This is CNN Breaking News. Welcome to CNN. I'm Victor Blackwell in Atlanta. The breaking news this morning, President Trump says the U.S. carried out large-scale strikes on Venezuela overnight. He says its president, Nicolas Maduro, and his wife, Celia Flores, have been captured and flown out of the country. Attorney General Pam Bondi says both of them have been indicted, and in a social media post says that they will, quote, soon face the full wrath of American justice.
Okay, so right away, they want you to believe with this story that the American government has the power to just snatch up any world leader they want at any time and bring them back and make them face a judge here in the United States in a courtroom in America, right? That they're going to snap their finger and like have the American soldiers just show up, grab them, and none of them get shot and killed in the process, right? And they're able to detain him and take him back, fly him back to America and get him in front of a judge like within days, right? Willy-nilly. And they're also making it out like Trump personally made this decision. So one of the main emphasis is that Trump captured Maduro. So a lot of the headlines are saying Trump orders the capture of Maduro, and even Trump captures him. So they want the sheeple at home to believe that Trump can personally decide any world leader he wants, get captured like that and brought back to America, and it happens that quick and easy. So they want you to believe Trump has this overwhelming power and ability to just snatch up any world leader anywhere in the world whenever he wants. And it's a super easy process.
The Venezuelan vice president says that she has no idea where Maduro and the first lady are.
Faced with this brutal situation and this brutal attack, we do not know the whereabouts of President Nicolas Maduro and First Lady Celia Flores. We demand immediate proof of life from the government of President Donald Trump, proof of life for President Maduro and the First Lady.
Oh, well, if you want some proof, I'll show you proof that he's alive and well. Here you go. See? He's alive. Nothing to worry about. He's going to go through the judicial system. He's going to get to be judged properly, right? So if he's innocent, he should have nothing to worry about. He should only have something to worry about if he's guilty, right? I mean, as you can see, this is clearly what a world leader who's been captured looks like shortly after being captured when this photo is taken and he's giving the thumbs up. This is what it looks like, of course. Yes. Here's another one. Gonna have Maduro pose and take some shots with the agents who captured him, right? It doesn't look like he's too upset. So, obviously, he's alive and well. Looks like he's in good spirits. So I don't know what this lady's so worried about.
President Trump says that he'll address the nation on the strikes from Mar-a-Lago later this morning. Right now, it's quiet in the capital of Caracas, just hours after the strikes. But earlier, explosions rocked Venezuela, knocked out power, and sent people running outside.
You guys, the fact that the sheeple see this and they automatically fall for it, and I'm like one of the only people in the fucking world who's going to be like, hey, wait a minute. You just showed me what looked like some fireworks far away, and then it supposedly scared the person taking the video and they fell backwards from the window. Like, what is it that we're even looking at here? Here, I'm going to turn the sound off. Let's just watch what they're showing us. They're saying there was an airstrike, like a bomb strike, and it knocked out power. And then they show us this. We don't see anything getting blown up. And I guess it scared the person who was filming, so they fell away from the window. You guys, this is what the fucking sheeple fall for. And they have the person fall away from the window. So what, this person right here, like, sent this into the news? Or was this like a U.S. news report that happened to be in Venezuela? So look what they show. They show this. We don't see any of this getting blown up. And then we see this car in an alley and some people in an alley. Looks staged as fuck. And then we see a flash of light and some smoke in the distance. There's a number of ways you can create footage like this without any bombs being dropped, of course. And then somebody falls away from the window. Okay. That's how you know Venezuela got bombed.
And this strike was at La Carlota Air Base in Caracas. CNN's Nick Payton-Walsh joins me now from London. Nick, we just heard from Issa Suarez speaking with some of her sources in country about the fear of what could come next because so many questions are unanswered.
Yeah, I mean, let's go through what we know has happened so far. Since about 1 a.m. local time, and the series of explosions rocked Caracas and other parts of Venezuela, multiple helicopters seen in the air, and then clearly a U.S. Special Forces operation that removed Nicolas Maduro and his wife from what should have been their heavily Special Forces operation that removed Nicolas Maduro.
Look at this. Making the 666 sign. But he's pointing them at us, right? So they got their 666 sign in there, but they're trying to be sneaky, like I wouldn't notice. Ha! I see it. Let's continue.
And his wife from what should have been their heavily fortified and secured premises in the capital there. Hard to understate quite what a move this is geopolitically by the Trump White House to remove the sitting president of a country which it considers to be a regional irritant.
A regional irritant. Yeah, you know, he's regionally irritating. So we had to get rid of him. So they dropped bombs, knocked the power out, and the lights were out, and they just snatched him up real quick before anybody noticed he was gone. Brought him back here. And just before he saw the judge and pleaded not guilty, he was given thumbs up with some agents to let him know he's okay. Rocky says, Jake, you know Call of Duty in 2013 predicted this to the letter. I did not know that. And you know what? That's back when I used to play video games. So before I started my YouTube channel back in 2013, that's probably the last time I played Call of Duty was back then. So I can't remember the storyline in the video games enough to verify what you're saying, but I don't doubt what you're saying. So I would have to go back and take another look. But yeah, it wouldn't shock me at all if the old video games from a decade ago are preferencing what's going to happen in the fake news today. Pre-programming, of course. So a lot of movies are programming for events that they stage. So, of course, video games are going to fall in the same category. Programming for future events that they script.
Startling, successful, certainly, daring, certainly as well, and also efficient, frankly, given what it seems the brevity, comparatively, of this operation and the impact that it is having. The Attorney General, Pam Bondi, hinting that the indictments in the Southern District of New York Court will be the ones that Maduro faced. He had a $50 million bounty on his head, seeking...
See, we don't see any footage of anything actually being blown apart, right? We don't see any detail of anything being blown up. Doxological Thinker said, you're already telling too much truth, Jake. This is a comedy channel, YouTube entertainment only. How would Asmongold react to this breaking news? Good idea. We're going to do Asmongold reacting to this news right now. Oh my fucking God. Have you guys heard about this?
Information that could lead towards his capture, and it may well be that the delay we're seeing since Trump's tweet in the early hours of this morning, his 74-word social media post that removed the extraordinary mystery, frankly, or the unresponsibility of exactly what was happening in the...
This is crazy. I mean, can you guys believe this? I can't believe this.
skies of Caracas very quickly to explain that, as many suspected, it was the US military behind this. It now appears that potentially the delay may be about transferring Maduro inside American soil for when President...
Can you guys believe Trump's doing this? This is insane. This is literally insane. There you go. That's how Ass Mongold would react, right? And you know what? That would be all he would have to do, and he would get 2 million views in 24 hours. 2 million fucking views for that reaction right there. And there'd be like 50,000 comments from a bunch of neckbeard fucking incel losers like, this is an excellent video. I agree. I was totally reacting the same way when I saw the news. Thank you for making this video, Ass Mongold. I love you. Right? Thank you, Doxological Thinker, for the multiple super chats tonight. The very generous super chat to get us started tonight. And I love making fun of Ass Mongold. I like to think that I do the best Ass Mongold reaction impression in the world. So thank you for giving me this opportunity to show off my comedic skills and my Ass Mongold impression. Fist bump to you, sir. In fact, make it a double fist bump.
Trump addresses the nation about this move, extraordinary as it is. But I think once perhaps for Trump allies, the exhilaration of removing Maduro, who has been an authoritarian dictator behind violence against protesters and opponents for 13 years. Once that fades, the hard questions now must be answered about what to do with Venezuela's crippled economy. That is...
Okay, so the story is that this guy is a authoritarian dictator, and he's a bad guy. And there's other stories I've heard where he's involved in drug running, and he's like a major drug kingpin that he traffics drugs into the United States and stuff like that. So they're making it out like this is a real bad guy because he's an authoritarian dictator. Meanwhile, the president of the United States is basically a made-up character, right? Like Trump was a made-up character from the get-go, propped up and artificially inflated to be in this position. So Trump was scripted to be the president of the United States. Furthermore, using an to address American citizens. And here we are like, oh, we needed to capture this guy because he was a dictator. Our AI president is a great, wonderful guy who captures dictators. He's not an authoritarian dictator. Trump's the opposite of an authoritarian dictator. He captures authoritarian dictators and gets rid of them because he's such a great guy. Oh, yes. The good guy who's cleaning up the world gets rid of the authoritarian presidents, right? He's got the power to snap his finger and get rid of any world leader anytime he wants. And that sort of power is never abused. He uses it only when he needs to.
Being the reason why Maduro has needed to be authoritarian, the mismanagement of basic things like inflation foodstuffs that permeates that entire country. What happens now to Venezuela's military, heavily hit during this brief series of strikes? I should point out the explosions we've been seeing in these videos, utterly alien to life in sleepy, peaceful Caracas, will have terrified the millions who live there. What is the likely course for Venezuela's...
All right. And I noticed that now I'm all choppy. So, of course, when I start getting into the hardcore truth, that's when my internet connection suddenly gets all choppy and shitty. Wonderful. This is what you have to deal with when you're a truth-telling comedian. And this is a comedy show. It's all for entertainment purposes only. You're allowed to come up with your own opinion as to what you think happened, right? I'm just trying to entertain everyone and make everyone laugh and also tell the truth at the same exact time. So it's up to you whether you want to trust the mainstream narrative or some random comedian on YouTube, right? All right. So the next video I want to show is one sec. Let me locate my next video. Oh, Maduro being captured, and then he's been captured, but now they're going to expedite him to the jail so he can see the judge. And so they have this whole process of him being transported to jail or to court or whatever. They have the whole thing on camera, all of it. They just so happen to have the whole thing on camera. So let's go to Inside Edition because they've got the inside scoop. Look at these wonderful pictures they have here. This is how you know that he's definitely in custody here in America. Julie Bidney coming in with a super sticker. Thank you very much, Julie Bidney. I appreciate the super chat support. Let me take a look at what the super sticker is. It's looks like a pear saying ha ha ha. Thank you very much, Julie Bidney, for the super sticker. And just before that, I had one come in from Rye3926 or RY3926. Says Trump making allegations that Richie from Boston's organic Bible vape juice really is GMO. Richie from Boston passionately responds to these allegations and defends his product. All right, let me see what I can do here. So I needed to do this special report to address the nation. This is very important. There is a fraudulent salesman out there, and he is tricking people into thinking that there is a such thing as Chinese nano drones. This is a very serious matter. There's nobody that should be laughing right now. Not only is this individual tricking people into believing in a preposterous notion of Chinese nano drones, but he's telling people that these nano drones are flying up your anus and causing you to have nano AIDS and other things. And he's claiming that his product that he sells, by the way, can get rid of these Chinese nano drones. And the only way that you can get rid of these nano drones and cure yourself from nano AIDS is to buy his organic Bible vape juice. Have you heard of this? So there's this fella, he's a fraud, known as Richie from Boston, and he's selling online this organic Bible vape juice. Let me tell you something. It's not organic. No Bible vape juice is organic. That's a lie. And he's also involved in selling this. Quite frankly, it's a harmful and fraudulent product. So I recommend you don't use his promo code down below. You don't get 40% off. I recommend you unlike and you unsubscribe from this fraudulent character known as Richie from Boston. As you guys saw, I was recently attacked live on television by the President of the United States. And the reason why is because I'm selling a legitimate product that actually cures people from nano AIDS. As you guys know, I am the inventor and the producer of organic Bible vape juice, and that is why I am able to bring it to you at such a low price. And I'm doing this for you. I want you to be cured of nano AIDS. I don't want anybody to die of nano AIDS. The fact that Trump's telling people that I'm a fraud, this just goes to tell you, they're the ones who set the Chinese drones loose in the first place. This is proof that Trump is covering up the fact that the United States government, they're the ones that released these Chinese nano drones in the first place. I'm the one trying to save your ass. Quite literally, save Chinese drones from invading your anus and implanting Chinese nano AIDS in your ass. That's hard. It's hard to do these comedic bits on the spot, make this all up on the spot. But there you have it. I tried my best. I did what I could. Whew. Go find another comedian who would dare give that a try, and I'll guarantee you they'll do a lot worse than what I just did. Thank you for the comedic bit recommendation. All right. Let's get back to breaking down this Maduro stuff here.
It's a long walk to face the wrath of American justice for Nicolas Maduro and his wife Celia. Dressed in matching tan prison uniforms, they're led in handcuffs from a chopper, headed to their first court appearance, surrounded by heavily armed federal agents.
And being filmed the entire time in cinematic fashion.
It was an all-hands-on-deck operation, getting the captured first couple of Venezuela from a detention center in Brooklyn to federal court in Manhattan.
Yeah, man, within just a couple days, they snatched him up, transported him, and got him in front of a judge. This quick and easy, guys.
The early morning odyssey began with the Maduros loaded into an armored truck, then transferred to an SUV.
And they have every shot. They got him going into the armored truck. They got him going into the SUV. The entire process is documented.
And to a helicopter for the brief flight to lower Manhattan.
This is the best part.
Security is intense. A ring of steel surrounds the courthouse, where protesters have gathered demanding Maduro be released.
What? Protesters? People don't know who the fucking presidents and world leaders are in other countries. Most Americans, like me, I didn't know who Maduro was until this story happened. But they want you to believe all these people are gathered outside of a courtroom protesting the release of the president of Venezuela. That many people care. They heard the news and they're like, let's go down to the courtroom right now. And you know what? Let's make sure to print these signs. Like, where did they get those big signs? So they want you to believe regular people found out on TV that the president of Venezuela was captured. And they're like, what? I'm outraged. I'm going to go down to the courtroom right now. Honey, get the big yellow paper out so that we can print some free Maduro signs. We're going down there first thing in the morning. And then, of course, there happens to be a whole crowd. Like, everybody all decides to show up and they have the signs and the Venezuelan flag. Really? Really? I never heard of Maduro. Be honest, you never heard of him either until this happened. Nobody fucking knew who this was or talked about him in America. But now all the sheeple are like, oh, did you hear about Maduro? Yeah, that authoritarian dictator that he's captured him and brought him to court. And he's bringing him to justice. Yeah, and now everybody acts like they know all about this guy. Okay, protesters. Right? Rose Bell says never. Yeah, their story just falls so far away from making any logical sense. Like, all these people are outraged and showing up to protest over the Venezuelan leader who got captured like a day earlier. Sure. Yeah, I don't even know if it's a real crowd. They can just show us, a snippet of an AI crowd real fast, right? So it's not like they even need a real crowd anymore. They have the AI capabilities to just have a fake crowd there, a fake AI crowd, or you can even just take 10, 20 people and make it look like it's 100, right? Through post-production. So there's a number of ways they can fake a crowd. And the news just tells you and then shows you a snippet real quick, and then it's over. Like, watch. They're not going to show us a whole bunch of what happens with this crowd.
Stephen Fabian is there.
In an extraordinary...
See? So here's the crowd, right? You get to see the tops of their heads. And you get to see this group of people right here with the flag.
Maduro be
the signs, of course.
Released. Stephen Fabian.
And then right here, it's like what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right. So that's only a tiny amount of people, but they're trying to act like it's a big crowd. And not to mention, I see just lots of blurriness on the people. Like all the people look very blurry, but the signs are very crispy. So look how crispy the signs are, how you can read it nice and easily. But then like this person over here is blurry and these people are blurry. This guy's face is blurry. Kreger says, hi, Jake and Ralphster. Yeah, Ralph is, he's not so impressed with the stream tonight. He's asleep. He's not as entertained as the rest of us. So there's Ralph. He's passed out. But yep. Thank you, Kreger, for the super chat. I appreciate it. Ralph does too, even though he's sleeping right now. Has no idea what's happening.
Is there.
In an extraordinary hearing, Maduro faced charges of drug trafficking, narco-terrorism, and conspiracy to import cocaine. He told the judge he had been kidnapped. The judge asked, "Are you Nicolas Maduro Moros?" A defiant Maduro responded in Spanish, "I am the president of Venezuela."
All right. So check it out. After I found that, I found the best video. There's video of him being transferred to the courtroom or the jail in its entirety, meaning the entire transfer from helicopter into this building and into this police SUV. It's like 40 minutes filmed of him being transferred. And when you watch it, it really just snaps out or pops out that this is a phony event. We'll get to that in just a second. Hillbilly Hank says, Jason Archaics says, hello, Jake. So I have uncovered that we do live in some sort of a computerized simulation, and I will sell you a thumb drive with all of my data supporting my theory. And you can use this data on this thumb drive that I'll sell you to win the majority of sports bets. You can beat nearly any sport in Vegas once you realize this is a simulation and that these outcomes to these games are predetermined. You can actually find the pattern in which these games are going to go down, and you can make 6 figures in under a month. Each time I go to Vegas, I make more than 6 figures. I am stacking up the cash as fast as they can print it. And let me tell you what, when I go to Nevada, I have to check in with Nevada State Police because I am a former criminal. I was convicted of a sex crime. So I always have to check in with Nevada State Police and let them know that I'm in town. But that doesn't stop me from making bucket loads of money, brother. There you go. There's a little Archaics for you. RY3926 says, Trump interviewing Stephen Hawking, asking for his opinion on Maduro. Interviewing Steve, or translating for Stephen Hawking. So We have a wonderful guest here. A lot of people thought that he died. It turns out he didn't die. Stephen Hawking, he's still very much alive. There was some false information going around that he's dead. He's very much alive, and I am going to be his human interpreter for this evening. Stephen, I'm glad to have you here as a guest in the Oval Office. Now, I wanted to ask you your opinion on the capture of the notorious criminal and the leader of Venezuela, Nicolas Maduro. Stephen says that he was very impressed by the way that we shut off the electricity in Venezuela. He said he was blown away by the aerial assaults and the airstrikes that took place. He said he was highly impressed with the efficiency in which we captured Maduro and rapidly brought him back to the United States, where he's already seen a judge. He pleaded not guilty, by the way. Stephen Hawking, while he was mumbling, he told me that he was not surprised at all that Maduro pleaded not guilty because he's a sick, lying son of a bitch. That's right, Stephen Hawking. He used the words son of a bitch. That's what he said. All right, those are words that came out of his mouth, not mine. There you go. I had to figure out a way to make it happen, right? So I had to bring Stephen Hawking back to life to have Trump ask him about this recent event so that he could give his opinion. Whew. I had to do a whole lot of mental gymnastics to make that comedic request to come alive. But there you go. Again, go try and find another comedian who could bring that comedic request to life. You won't be able to do it. It's impossible. I'm the only one. All right, let me make sure I'm all caught up on super chats. And it looks like I am. So now we can get to my favorite video of the night that I wanted to show you guys. The transfer of Nicolas Maduro to the courtroom or the jail, whichever. When I show it to you guys, you're going to laugh. They have the entire thing on camera. The entire process just happens to be documented. All right. This is the best evidence that the whole thing is a phony shit show. "28 minutes of this. The entire process. Somebody was filming. Just happened to be a camera rolling.
Crazy or what?
And there's no commentary until just then. Crazy or what?
Crazy or what?
More like or what? So I guess this is being captured via drone, right? I guess they got a camera on a drone capturing all this. I'm going to speed it up a little bit because this is a bit of a long video. I'm going to give you some background music.
Yeah, how was it the first time? Yeah, that's true.
There you go. Little spitting monkeys for you to pass the time.
Stick. We needed, but the second one was helpful. So we're assuming that the pier, but at the same time, if the pier can handle a helicopter, you'd think it could handle the Bearcat, but whatever.
What was that?
See, copy, thanks. No, that's fine. I mean, we got the one shot that we definitely needed, but the second one was helpful. So we're assuming that the pier, but at the same time, if the pier can handle a helicopter, you'd think it could handle the Bearcat, but whatever.
Okay, so this is some BS acting cover-up story about the pier not being able to possibly handle a helicopter in this vehicle. Like, whatever. This is all just a show for the people at home. So it's almost like this is the source footage that I found here, the full video, and then the news was able to snip up whatever they needed, right? So all the different national news broadcasts, they can just take little snippets of this. But this is the full source video of him being transported. And look what the title is, Maduro dragged in chains. I didn't see him being dragged. I guess we're going to have to wait for this dragged in chains part to happen because we haven't seen that yet.
I can't really see. They're going to go behind that building and go out. Okay, got it. God, my white balance, but I can't do anything about it. I guess they're going to come around the bend here. Yeah, keep sliding out to the right a little bit. They're going to come to us. They're in the Dodge. One of the Dodges. They are going to be coming back to us. And Nicolas Maduro and his wife, Celia Flores, were transferred from a very heavily armored vehicle into this smaller Dodge SUV. You can now see the vehicle being surrounded by armed DEA agents. Both of those people, Maduro and his wife, are inside of that vehicle, and they're going to be escorted out, transferred to a ball field, which is directly adjacent to this location, and placed on a law enforcement helicopter, as we've been saying all morning. That helicopter then headed over into Lower Manhattan, where Maduro and his wife will then be transferred to court for an appearance later on today. This has been about a 20-minute process, but everything has been running on time. It has been going according to the schedule that the media was given earlier this morning.
It's on time and running according to schedule that the media was given. So the media is given a schedule of when all this is going to take place. The transfer of a dictator criminal.
But it's been a slow ride through really through back streets in Brooklyn by Bush Terminal and also down here by Industry City. Now we'll come back to the live pictures. There you can see Celia Flores, that is Nicolas Maduro's wife, also taken into custody over the weekend and flown here to New York. On the driver's side of the vehicle, on the opposite side, that is where Nicolas Maduro is sitting. And again, both of them will be escorted here to this helicopter that's waiting in the ball field, Pedro.
Okay, so we'll watch more of this in just a minute. I have to do an Alex Jones impression real quick. RY3926 says Alex Jones interviewing do lady who was apparently on scene at the Maduro event.
I was there when Maduro was captured and the light turned off, and then we hear this loud noise. The do, and ta 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 ta. And it was dark, very, very scary. And then when the light come back on, Maduro not there. He was captured, and we were like, "Where Maduro?" And then we hear more noises like ta 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 ta.
have it, folks. Eyewitness testimony from what went down in Venezuela. Now, folks, I told you that Trump is not only going to be draining the swamp here in the United States, but he's going to be globally draining the swamp of these globalist scum. And of course, Nicolas Maduro is some of the worst of the globalist scum. I am proud to see President Trump cleaning up the streets here in America, but cleaning up the streets of the globe. Trump is single-handedly making the world a better place. Folks, if this doesn't show you that Trump is the greatest president that there has ever been, then I don't know what will. And you got the freaking deep state trying to kill him. You got the freaking deep state trying to kill me and Trump. Fuck you. If you don't stand with me, if you don't stand with Trump, then fuck you. I'm going to eat your ass. I'm going to eat your ass right now. There you go. There you go. That's what he would say. I got another super chat come in. And then we'll get back to this Maduro transportation video, I guess we'll call it. Doxological Thinker says, hit that thumbs up button. Also, can you do AI Trump arguing with Hawking's talking box? Asmongold reacts. Then Russell Brand praises him for his high intelligence reaction. Wow. That is very detailed. AI Trump arguing with Hawking's talking box. Asmongold reacts. Russell Brand praises him for his high. Whoa, man, you're mixing in a whole lot of stuff, bro. I'm gonna have to like I might have to take a break in the middle of this one and come up with more shit on the spot if I have trouble. Well, let me see what I can do. Nobody removes world leaders from positions of power like I do. I, of course, am the ultimate position of power. I can snap my fingers and get rid of any diabolical world leaders that I want. I'm literally cleaning up the swamp worldwide, making the world a better place, one capture at a time. We're going to install a much better government there. The people of Venezuela are going to be so much more happy now that we've got rid of this authoritarian dictator. Actually, if you really look at what the evidence is showing, it appears that this supposed authoritarian dictator is nothing more than an actor and a plant, just like Donald Trump is an actor and a plant acting as the American president. Right now, this is Stephen Hawking telling you the truth in robot box form, that Donald Trump is an actor and he uses AI to address the nation. Now you need to shut up right now, Stephen. I don't know who authorized you to tell the people these lies, but quite frankly, these are lies. Nobody listened to the robotic talking voice of Stephen Hawking. He's dead, all right? I know earlier I said he was alive, but it turns out he is dead. This Stephen Hawking, who's telling you lies about me being an actor, he's obviously a fraud. Don't listen to him. Stephen, you're fired. Get lost. Get the hell out of here. I'm going to get rid of you like I got rid of Creepy Joe. Can you guys believe this? This is crazy. I can't believe that Stephen Hawking is arguing with Trump. How is that even possible? I thought Stephen Hawking was dead. Can you guys believe this? We are currently living through an oligarchist era where communities are combusting at the seams because they are realizing that the United States government is overstepping their boundaries, committing murder, and this is, of course, causing concerned citizens to take to the streets and protests. And that's what we all should be doing. We should all be taking to the streets and expressing our outrage over what happened in Minnesota and over what happened with the capture of Maduro. This is unacceptable. And we, the American people, and me, some Nancy boy from England, we should all be getting together. We should be collaborating and corroborating and organizing protests, not only across this country, but across the entire world. And we should be speaking out against these atrocities that are happening amongst the oligarchies. And these atrocities will not be overlooked. And we, the people, will stand against it and hold in solidarity as we speak out against these atrocities with one another. There you go. Dude, that's too much. That's too many things to try and fucking combine into one comedic bit. I don't recommend any comedians ever try that. I'm the only one that could even attempt to pull that off. I'm serious. You guys cannot find a single other fucking comedian that would dare even give that a try. Go ask them. Go find another person in the world that would even dare give that an attempt. Before you judge what I just did, just know there's nobody in the fucking world that would even attempt that. And if they did, it would suck donkey balls and be nowhere near as good as what I just did. Proof I'm the best, funniest comedian who ever lived or will ever live. Times infinity. Cactus Jack says fire stream tonight. I told you guys I had a cram-packed show for you guys, and we still have the Minnesota shit to get to. This is just the Maduro shit. We still have that.
We are standing by for you.
We still have this whole other operation to get to. Like I said, tonight's stream, cram-packed with information and real truth, and you won't find this anywhere else. None of the other truth channels are going to break it down like this.
Yes. Yeah. Live. Great job. They're going to come back to us here in a second.
All you white folks cheering about Maduro being captured, you think it's a good thing that Trump can just go capture anyone he wants willy-nilly? Trump he's overreaching his authority. He's a crooked and corrupt president, and y'all should be ashamed of yourself for cheering for the fact that Maduro got captured. You should be out there protesting like all them people was outside the courtroom. I would have been out there too, but I had a cold. I was sick, so I couldn't be there. But if I wasn't sick, I'd have been outside that courtroom too. You should be outside that courtroom. You should be out there protesting. That man is not evil. Trump is the one who is evil.
Now, folks, don't you listen to any of these Hollywood celebrities, all right? They are under MK Ultra. They're a product of BlackRock tech stock. So you don't want to listen to any of these globalist scum like Wanda Sykes. She's a friggin' liar. In fact, Wanda Sykes, you're a no-good globalist Mossad agent. That's right, folks. Wanda Sykes, she's, quite frankly, she's a globalist agent on behalf of Mossad, and she's spreading disinformation, and I will not stand for it. Wanda, I'm going to eat your ass. I'm going to eat your leftist ass right now like corn on the cob. I want you to back it up. Go ahead, back up that fat black ass, Wanda. I'm going to eat it. I'm going to eat it right now. I'm going to eat Wanda Sykes' fat black ass right here, right now, live, like corn on the cob. What? Whew. Doxological Thinker says, you're the best, Jake. Thanks for putting up with all these wild requests. I'll hold off on the comedic requests for at least 5 minutes and let you get back to waking people up. Thank you. I appreciate that. I enjoy making everyone laugh and fulfilling these requests. And you guys come up with ideas that push me and my comedic abilities to the limits and make me go places and try things that no other comedian has ever tried before. Literally, nobody's ever tried any of these requests ever. So I'm doing something in the spur of the moment, off the cuff, off the cusp, off the cuffaspa, and I'm making it happen, right? I'm proving I am the funniest man who ever lived. And you know what? I couldn't do it without awesome audience participation from the most awesome YouTube audience in the world, which is you guys. So thank you, Doxological Thinker, for your multiple super chats tonight. And thank you, David Chappelle, for this super chat, which I'm going to read now. What do you think of Somali daycare fraud going viral? Sounds like some fake shit to me. I don't really have an opinion on Somali daycare, but I don't know. It sounds like some fake shit designed to get people to be outraged on purpose. Whenever anything goes viral, there's a reason why it goes viral, right? So only stuff that they want to go viral truly goes viral. So I haven't really looked into Somali daycare. I've been researching these two operations, the Minnesota thing and this Maduro thing, for the last couple days. So I haven't looked into Somali daycare at all, but perhaps when this stream is over, I'll take a peek into that and give you my thoughts on that, maybe in the next stream. It's probably some fake shit. All right.
Pedro, we've been watching this.
So check it out. So they follow the helicopters. So I guess the camera drone, or maybe this is being shot from a helicopter as well. They follow this helicopter so that we get this footage. Very cinematic, huh? And we watched Maduro get loaded up on that helicopter, so we know for sure he's
We're here. We're here.
He's definitely in there.
That's right, Pedro. You can see the helicopter has taken off from the park here on the waterfront in Industry City. This helicopter is going to pass directly underneath us on its way to Wall Street Heliport. Again, this whole process has taken about 40 minutes. Started out at the Metropolitan Detention Center. Maduro transferred by heavily armored vehicle over to this helicopter and DEA law enforcement. The helicopter, as we said, on its way to Wall Street Heliport, where it will be met by another motorcade, and then he will be transferred with his wife over to the court facility in Lower Manhattan. Pedro, we'll throw it back down to you.
There they are, of course. Good thing that they safely made it. We didn't have a tragic helicopter crash. All right, now let's unload this ruthless dictator, this drug lord and authoritarian dictator who's got orange shoes. Look at the orange shoes. Got to slip in your orange in there, don't they? Yep, that's how you load them up. Yeah, just shove his ass right in there. There you go. Good job, guys. Aren't you guys glad all this was filmed? How convenient. All right, so far we've seen him get into an SUV, then a helicopter, and now an armored vehicle. So we've had 3 different vehicles being used here.
Correct. And then I can't talk to him on the radio. Did you tell him that? No, Mark on the...
Okay, Bertie, Rob and Rico, I got you on the other side.
And there you have it. "28 minutes of that. Why does that exist?" And if any of you guys want to check out this video, it's DRM News, full video. Maduro dragged in chains. Hey, wait a minute. I didn't see him get dragged in chains. That was one part of the video they didn't show. I saw him get walked from one vehicle to the next. Very gently did they help him into the armored vehicle, but I didn't see him get dragged in chains. Look at this. Can someone tell me when I missed the drag part? Saddam Hussein kind of situation. Good comments. All right. Craig says that's an expensive Uber ride. No. You're going to get the people at home to take care of it with their tax dollars. They'll foot the bill. Thank you, Craig, for the super chat donation. All right. So now let's get to Trump gloating about the capture of Maduro. And then we'll take a look at Maduro in court. All right, so this, in my opinion, is an AI Trump. It's the colors and the visibility of the video. It's like low quality on purpose. Whenever I see low quality on purpose in an age where all footage should be 4K, right? And meanwhile, look at how blurry Trump's hair is. Look how it's got like a reddish tint. Look at how his skin color is like copper.
You know, people are saying it goes down with one of the most incredible. It was so complex. 152 airplanes, many. Talk about boots on the ground. We had a lot of boots on the ground. But it was amazing. And think of it, nobody was killed. And on the other side, a lot of people were killed. Unfortunately, I say that, soldiers. Cubans, mostly Cubans. But
okay, right away. Do you guys notice he's like talking in a way that's extremely hard to follow? So I notice with AI Trump, sometimes the sentences come out and it's extremely hard to keep up with what he's even talking about. Like in the first 20 seconds there, I was totally unable to even understand what the hell he's trying to say.
You know, people are saying it goes down with one of the most incredible. It was so complex.
You know, people are saying it goes down with one of the, it was so complex. See how he like started the sentence and then fidgeted into another sentence?
You know, people are saying it goes down with one of the most incredible. It was so complex.
See, nobody notices this shit except for me, the guy pointing out that it's an AI Trump. You know, people are saying it goes down with one of the most
152 air saying it goes down with one of the most incredible. It was so complex.
See? Nobody notices this shit.
152 airplanes, many. Talk about boots on the ground. We had a lot of boots on the ground. But it was amazing. And think of it, nobody was killed. And
it was amazing. Think of it, nobody was killed.
On the other side, a lot of people were killed.
And on the other side, a lot of people were killed. It was amazing. Nobody was killed. And on the other side, a lot of people killed. It's very strange wording.
Fortunately, I say that, soldiers. Cubans, mostly Cubans, but many killed. And they knew we were coming, and they were protected, and our guys weren't. You know, our guys are jumping out of helicopters, and you're not protected, and they were. But it was so brilliant. The electricity for almost the entire country was, boom, turned on. That's
just the way he says our guys jumping out of helicopter. It just doesn't sound like regular Trump to me. This is clearly an AI Trump that they're using here. And if you listen to the speech and the cadence at which he's saying, and then the fact that these sentences don't really correlate with one another that well, it's almost like it's purposely hard to follow. But people at home don't notice. They think it's Trump being Trump.
They were protected, and our guys weren't. You know, our guys.
They were protected, but our guys weren't. So his unprotected guys swooped in while the electricity was off, jumped off of a helicopter, and just snatched Maduro up. Just that easy. And it was so amazing.
Jumping out of helicopters, and you're not protected, and they were. But it was so brilliant. The electricity for almost the entire country was, boom, turned on. That's when they knew there was a problem.
They were all just sitting around while the electricity was on. Nobody had any idea what was about to happen. And then, boom, within a snap of a finger, the electricity in the entire country was shut off. And that's when we had guys jump off the helicopters and snatch Maduro up. Yeah. The whole process of like, okay, lights go out, guys jump off helicopters and grab Maduro. Sorry, it doesn't work like that. They're making it out like the president's just like chilling at his house or wherever, and they can just turn out the lights and have some agents show up and grab them, stick them inside of a vehicle and drive away and get on a plane, fly back to the United States. Like, come on. The story's ridiculous. And you know what? You know who buys it? Everyone buys it. We're the crazy ones for even suggesting that Maduro didn't get captured by Trump. We're the fucking crazy cuckoo conspiracy theorists right now suggesting that maybe this isn't a real Trump. I'm Captain King Conspiracy Theorist with my cuckoo theories that this might not be a real Trump, right? That's the way the rest of the world looks at us. That's the way we're perceived. And here we are, this little tiny group of people, some of the only people awake enough to even talk about this. Some of the only people awake enough to even examine this evidence. So basically, guys, this little group of people here is like a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of all the people that exist. And most of all those people that exist think all this is real. They don't take the time to research any of this.
No electricity. Caracas, there's no electricity. It's not the only people with lights were the people that had candles. It was just off. So we sort of got them a little by surprise, but it was brilliant tactically. It was an incredible thing. But I watched where Schumer, he's such a bad guy. I mean, I've known the guy for a long time, and he's such a bad guy. You know, at some point they should say, you know, you did a great job. Thank you. Congratulations. Wouldn't it be good? I would say that if they did a good job. Their philosophies are so different, but if they did a good job, I'd be happy for the country.
You know what somebody should do? Somebody should come along and pat me on the back and say, good job, Orange Jab Daddy. You did so good. We're so very proud of you. It was genius. It was brilliant the way you turned the lights off on Venezuela and captured that evil authoritarian dictator. You know, if somebody else was to do something this awesome, I would tell them that they did a good job. If somebody else was to capture Maduro before we did, I would have told them that they did a good job, but they didn't, all right? We're the ones who captured Maduro. So therefore, we deserve the pat on the back. We deserve to be told that we're doing a good job. So check it out, you guys. This operation divides the right and left ever so perfectly. So if you support Trump, then you support the fact that he captured an evil authoritarian dictator and drug lord. Now, if you are a lefty and you don't like Trump, well, then you're going to say that he's abusing his power as the president and capturing an innocent man who's running his country, right? So if you're a lefty, you can look at Trump like he's abusing his authority as the president, and he shouldn't be able to do this. So the lefties get to villainize Trump. And then they're pushing this narrative on the news that people are protesting the Maduro. So they're making it out like the lefty thing to do is to be upset that Trump captured Maduro. And the righty thing to do is to be happy that Trump captured Maduro. It just so happens to split the left and right perfectly. And I know I just saw a bunch of super chats come in, so let me go back and catch up on the super chat. And I see I got several super chats that just came in, and I'm going to go back and catch up on all of them real quick. And then we'll jump back into this. And then we'll move on to the Minnesota ICE incident. All right. So RY3926 says Ice Cube weighing in on Maduro. Shoot. Let me. Man. I haven't done Ice Cube in a while. I have to fucking remember how to do it. Man, so I went on The View, and I was getting blackballed by The View. I even got blackballed by Oprah, and that's because, like, I'm like a free thinker, you know. I be like thinking outside the box and shit. And when I started thinking outside the box, that's when I noticed that people on The View, they wasn't trying to hang out with me no more. That's when Oprah, she stopped talking to me. And I was like, dang. All because I'm a free thinker. You know, I could see right through what's going on with this Maduro thing. You see, Trump, he be abusing his power and authority. You know what I'm saying? Trump, he be crazy with all his power that he got. So he be getting rid of innocent leaders in other countries so that he could take over and install his own form of authority in government. I'm saying, man, it's whack. Man, I was like, what? Trump gonna capture Maduro? Man, that's whack. And they was like, what? Nah, you whack. Trump be cleaning up the earth. And I was like, nah, Trump ain't be cleaning up the earth. Trump destroying the earth. Know what I'm saying? So that's when I realized, like, I be thinking outside the box and shit. Know what I'm saying? That's when Oprah stopped returning my phone calls. I got blackballed by Oprah in The View. Man, I haven't done Ice Cube in a while. There you go. I tried. Maybe not my best Ice Cube impression, but it'll have to do for now. All right. Let me get to these other super chats coming in. Shit. All right, stick with me, guys. There's a lot more to go. Every once in a while, I get backed up on super chats, and I got to go back and read them all real fast. But then we're going to jump into some more stuff real quick. So Lance Bigger 6138 with a super sticker. Thank you, Lance, for the super sticker. It says game over. Thank you. All right. And on to the next one. From Follow Your Flow 10 said Trump looks extra crispy. Good job, Jake. Yeah, I'm positive that this is an AI Trump. The fact that the sentences aren't really correlating with one another. He's already glitched, it seems like, once or twice while he's talking here. The fact that he's like, the color's off, the voice is off. Yeah, everything about this is not a genuine broadcast in front of people. So they fake these live broadcasts with Trump all the time with AI, and everybody falls for it. I'm like the only dude talking about AI Trump. Just like I was one of the only dudes talking about AI Joe Biden. Raw Onion says, Jake Gibson, the best journalist in all of history. Can you imitate you working for CNN and asking Trump why he is racist? And then Trump response. Also, why can I see through the fake news so easy? Why can you see through the fake news so easy? That's because they're making it obvious that they're faking what they're doing. It's almost like they want to test the gullibility of the public. So they make it very easy to see through, to see how stupid people are and whether they're going to accept this or not. And since the sheeple accept these absurd videos, they make these videos more and more absurd, seeing if people are going to go along with it. And they do each and every time. So it's kind of like how the NFL is purposely letting the cat out of the bag by making it obvious that the players are playing fake football, testing the gullibility of the fans to see if they're going to continue to go along with it. And they do. So now you want me to imitate me working for CNN. I don't know how I'm going to do that because I would never work for CNN. Asking Trump why he is racist, and then Trump's response. Good news, guys. I just got hired by CNN. And my first news interview that I get to do is with none other than the President of the United States. Wow, can you guys believe that? What are the odds? Me getting hired by CNN, and the first person I get to interview is the most famous person in the world, the one and only Donald Trump. So now that I have you here, Trump, doing this fictitious interview for CNN with me, Jake the Awake, I want to ask you this very important question, Trump, Mr. President, sir. Why are you racist? That's actually quite a preposterous question. I am, of course, one of the least racist people that has ever lived or will ever lived. Nobody has been more kind to minorities of the world as me. I've helped more minorities than anybody. Quite frankly, I've helped raise billions and billions and billions, scratch that, trillions and trillions of dollars to help minorities all over the world. In fact, I am one of the most beloved and celebrated presidents because of all the minorities who I've helped. There's literally countless minorities, and you can try and count them, and you won't be able to. That's why there's countless minorities who will tell you that not only am I the greatest president that there ever was, that nobody does more for minorities than me. So quite frankly, anybody talking about me being racist, it's not true. You're a liar, and you deserve to be fired. There you go. That was hard because I would never work for CNN, and they would never let me interview Trump. So having to do an impression of me working for CNN interviewing Trump is kind of weird. But whatever. I think I did it. Phew. Holy shit. All right. Still got some more super chats I got to catch up on. Don't anybody go anywhere. We still got plenty of more show to get to. I just have to get all these damn super chats out of the way. It's like 10 super chats came in a row, and I was busy doing an impression and screwing around. All right. All right. Got one from Fartree7. It says, great stuff. Thank you, Fartree7. Fist bumps to you, sir. Quick and easy. I like it. And then the next one was from Back to Constitution 1. It says, big, beautiful barrels. We can sell them to China. Once we have Trumptricity running in all your lovely homes, we're going to revolutionize the world of industry. America is going to become number one at producing all these wonderful things that China is currently producing. America is going to be producing everything that China produces, except twice as much and twice as cheap. And it's all because of Trumptricity. Trumptricity is literally going to make sextillions and sextillions and sextillions of dollars. And of course, nobody is going to be as rich as me. And of course, this wealth is going to trickle down to you, the American people. I'm going to send you all a stimulus check. $3,330 for all of you. We thought we might send $666, but I thought, nah, we're going to send the American people $3,333 each as a stimulus check to get this economy back on track. And of course, all this money we taxed with tariffs from China. There you go. And Nathaniel Arias, 8276 says, Happy New Year, Jake, and hoping that this year has a lot of great things to come and wind health to come and wind health for you and your dog. Sorry, I forgot his name. The wind health I don't know if that's what you meant to say or not. Great things to come and for you and your dog. Sorry, I forgot his name. His name is Ralphie, and Ralph is asleep right now. He's right here. Oh, no, I just woke him up. Hi, Ralph. Ralph, you just got a super chat from somebody hoping that you have a happy new year. He does not look amused. So yeah, that's Ralphie, or Ralph for short. And thank you for the super chat. Gage P9 says, can you do a Trump impression on Colin Kaepernick? You guys remember that terrible quarterback who lost the Super Bowl, Colin Kaepernick? There's a reason why he lost his job in the National Fruit League, and there's a reason why he will never have a job playing in the National Fixed League ever again. It's because I personally ended his career. I pointed out how unpatriotic he was. He was kneeling during the national anthem, which is outrageous. Nobody should ever kneel during the national anthem. It's the most unpatriotic thing that anyone could ever do. It's akin to burning the American flag, of course. And so when I pointed out that this guy was unpatriotic, it was really quite outrageous what he was doing. And then, of course, he lost his job after he lost the Super Bowl. He faded away. And now nobody talks about him. In fact, this is the first I've heard about old Colin Kaepernick ever since he showed his unpatriotic ways. So nowadays he's in the where are they now category. And I can tell you, he's nowhere. He's irrelevant. He doesn't matter. And that's because he kneeled during one of the most important songs in all of American history, the national anthem, of course, which is one of my favorite songs of all time. There you go. There you go. And RY3926 says, super chatting onto your live stream is so much more fun than watching anything else on TV. Thanks for playing along, Jake. You are the best, man. Hey, thank you for the super chats and comedic requests tonight. You guys pushed me to my limits of my creative ability tonight. You really came up with some interesting requests tonight for me to fulfill. And Nathaniel says, that was supposed to say good, not wind health. Yeah, it didn't quite make sense, and I wasn't sure what other word you meant, but I got the gist of what you were trying to say, that you hope that we have a good year and good health. So thank you very much, Nathaniel, and I appreciate the fact you sent another super chat to clear up what you said. Very nice of you, very generous. Thank you very much, sir. Doxological Thinker with another super chat said, maybe something to save for another stream, but on Fox News from a few weeks ago with an AI Newt Gingrich, so obvious even sheep would see it. AI Newt Gingrich. Here, I'll write that down because if I can show multiple examples of different TV personalities being AI, it just adds to my catalog, my repertoire of truth, if you will. So I showed people evidence of Joe Biden being AI and Trump being AI. So the more people I can show being AI, the more it supports this truth that I'm showing you. Newt Gingrich. Thank you again for the multiple super chats that you've sent tonight, Doxological Thinker. You are an awesome supporter of the channel, sir. Lint away, duct cleaning, best damn lint duct cleaning service this side of the Mississippi. And no, he did not pay me to say that. Or did he? Just kidding. He says, Andrew Haywood saying Trump is a shapeshifter. Aaron Haywood. So Aaron Haywood is the Tasmanian who believes that I am a shapeshifter, just in case anyone's wondering. All right. Well, as you know, I bodied Jake the asshole, and I exposed that he's actually Jake the awake. And now I'm going to expose that the President of the United States is also a bloody shapeshifting icon. You can see clearly in this video, he's an arachnoid, and he's shapeshifting before your very eyes. He's taken the form of President Trump. He also played Joe Biden. This is the same entity who played Joe Biden is also playing the role of Trump. This is some sort of hybrid arachnid icon. Now, I know that Jake the asshole also plays roles. These are not the same entity. These are two different shape-shifting entities, of course. There you go. Aaron Haywood. RY3926 says, Trump praising lint away air duct cleaning. I got to tell you, lint away air duct cleaning services, we hired them to clean the lint from the air ducts here in the White House. They did an excellent job. Nobody cleans lint away from air ducts better than lint away air duct cleaning. It literally is the best air duct cleaning service this side of the Mississippi. So after the last administration, Creepy Joe, he kept this place extremely dirty. There was lint stuck all over all of the air ducts. Obviously, Creepy Joe was not doing a very good job keeping the White House clean. So one of the first things we had to do, we had to clean the air ducts. And so we wanted the best air duct cleaning service this side of the Mississippi. And of course, that is Lint Away Air Duct Cleaning. Did a miraculous job. If you need your air ducts cleaned, I highly recommend Lint Away Air Duct Cleaning. What in the hell is happening? Are you guys really sending me money to do this? Is this really happening? Is this really my life? Did I finally catch up on all the super chats? I think I did. I think I finally caught up on all the super chats. Holy shit. Hey, please let me know in the comment section. If I missed any super chats, let me know and I'll go back and read them. But I think I'm all caught up. We can get back on track with AI Trump here.
They've been after this guy for years and years and years. And, he's a violent guy. He gets up there and he tries to imitate my dance a little bit.
Decirle al pueblo de Estados Unidos, no a la guerra. No queremos una guerra en el Caribe ni en Sudamérica. No. Not war. Yes, peace. No a la guerra loca. No crazy girl. No. ¿Cómo se dice en inglés? Please, please, please. Yes, peace. Yes, peace. Peace forever. Peace forever.
Guys, what in the fuck are we even looking at? Check this out. He mentions that Maduro was mocking his dance moves.
Years and years and years. And, he's a violent guy.
He's a violent guy.
He gets up there and he tries to imitate my dance a little bit.
He gets up there and tries to imitate his dance. So this is a drug lord, authoritarian dictator, and he also mocks Trump's dance moves? How dare that son of a bitch? No wonder Trump ordered that he be captured and brought to justice. That motherfucker was mocking his dance moves. And as you guys know, Trump is the best dancer in the world, okay? And no world leader should ever dare mock Orange Jab Daddy's awesome dance moves. Now I totally understand why Trump got rid of this asshole. And thank God he did. Getting a super chat coming in from local reviewer. Says, I love lint. Awesome. If you love lint, then you have no reason to have your lint cleaned away from your air ducts. You can just let it build up, right? Because you love it. You reach in your pockets and pull out love, right? And I had another super chat that just came in just now. It says, Follow Your Flow. It says, Trump dancing at Hood Park after catching trout. I got to tell you something. I was debating on whether or not I should capture this authoritarian dictator. He's an evil guy. He's the president of Venezuela. And then I heard that he was mocking my awesome dance moves. And that's when I decided to get rid of this son of a bitch. We're going to bring him to justice. It's one thing to be a drug lord and to traffic drugs into the United States, but it's a whole nother to try and mock the greatest dance moves of any president who's ever danced before. Nobody dances like me. As you guys know, nobody busts a move like I bust a move. And if this son of a bitch is going to mock my dance moves, we're going to bring him to justice. We're going to show him what American justice is all about. And of course, this is what my dance looks like. Nobody's allowed to mock this dance. It's the coolest, most awesome dance that anyone's ever done. And I like to do this little dance while I'm fishing for trout at Hood Park. Whenever I go fishing for trout, it's my favorite kind of fish, of course. And whenever I catch a trout, first thing I do after I release the fish from the line is I do my dance, which goes like this. And it is not to be mocked. If I hear anyone mocking my dance, as you know, I have the power and authority to remove you in a snap of a finger and bring you to justice. There shall not be any mocking of my dance moves. So check it out. Trump says that Maduro mocks his dance moves, and somebody brought this to his attention. And then they cut to Maduro having this gigantic party with dance music.
They've been after this guy for years and years and years. And, he's a violent guy. He gets up there and he tries to imitate my dance a little bit.
Decirle al pueblo de Estados Unidos, no a la guerra. No queremos una guerra en el Caribe ni en Sudamérica. No.
Okay, so I guess this was supposed to be the mocking.
Decirle al pueblo de Estados Unidos, no a la guerra. No queremos una guerra en el...
Look how happy these people are. And you can obviously see that these people right here are real people in the shot, but then behind them is fake people. Like all the crowd behind these first two rows is totally fake. Clearly fake, but they're all smiling and having a good time. It doesn't look like they're under the rule of an authoritarian dictator who's treating them poorly. I mean, he's throwing this party and playing cool music for them to dance to.
Caribe ni en Sudamérica. No. Not war. Yes, peace. No a la guerra loca. No crazy girl. No. ¿Cómo se dice en inglés? Please, please, please. Yes, peace. Yes, peace. Peace forever. Peace forever. Peace forever. Esto se llama lenguaje tarzaneado.
What in the fuck are we looking at? Yeah, man. That's totally an authoritarian dictator that mistreats his citizens. I can totally see why Trump wants to bring this guy to justice. Good job, Trump. We're so glad that you got rid of this drug lord who mistreats his citizens. Seriously, guys, and thank you to Kevin Arnold from the Wonder Years for sending the super sticker. Much love, Kevin Arnold. I appreciate it, brother. Seriously, guys, what the fuck are we looking at? What's going on? How come I'm the only guy in the world who points at this and goes, no one else is going to talk about this fake concert that he's putting on that actually is quite a party. It looks like a fun party, actually, right? Like that song is catchy. Had like a breakdown. Right? Like that was actually some pretty good music. This guy knows how to rock a party. Fuck. Look how much fun everyone was having, you guys.
No a la guerra loca. crazy girl. No, no, no. ¿Cómo se dice en inglés? Please, please, please. Yes, peace. Listen to me. Yes, peace. Peace forever. Peace forever. Peace forever. Esto se llama lenguaje tarzaneado. Tipo Tarzán sería Shipas, Shipas.
Guys, evil dictator? He gets up there and he mocks my dance moves, makes fun of my dance moves. Who does he think he is? Clearly, you can see he's an evil, no good, authoritarian dictator. So that is why we had to remove him from his position of power. We're going to show him what American justice is all about. You would have to be severely mentally ill to want to copy Donald Trump's dance moves. I, of course, would never dance like Donald Trump. In fact, there is only one dance that any man should do to attract a female mate. If you want to attract the most beautiful female that you possibly can, then you need to show her that you are a real man who is really masculine. And the way that you do that is to do the raw meat eat dance. And the raw meat eat dance goes like this. You simply pretend that you are eating raw meat. And then, of course, you give your thumbs up to let the female know that you enjoy your carnivore diet. And this, of course, will make her pussy dripping wet. And she will then be attracted to you. And she will want to recreate the human being with you. This is, of course, what everyone knows out in nature. But since you don't grow up out in nature, you, of course, never learn how to attract a female with this ceremonial dance, so to speak. There you go. All right. Oh, the crazy shit I do for you guys. And one from Ahmed Scented says, can we get a redart singing Land on the Moon? Redart? You mean a retard? A retard singing Land on the Moon? I think that's what you mean. Land on the moon, we land on the moon. Land on the moon, we land on the moon. Hey, we take the rover and go to the moon. And then you know that we come back soon. Rove to the left, rove to the right. And then you know that we rove all night. We land on the moon, we land on the moon. Land on the moon, we land on the moon. Let's take the rover and go to the moon. Then you know that we come back through. Rove to the top, rove down low. We rove so much we don't know which way to rove. We land on the moon, we land on the moon. All right, that's as far as I want to take that. That's offensive to retards. All right, I don't want to offend anyone who's retarded by singing a song purposely retarded, all right? That's where I draw the line, right? I don't want to hurt retards' feelings after I've already sang it. There you go. Hopefully you got your money's worth. Holden liked it. All right. That's ridiculous. Ridiculous, you guys. And you guys know what? We still got more to go. We haven't even got into the Minnesota ice incident at all yet. So we still have an entire other psyop to break down. So with that said, hit the thumbs up button if you enjoyed the first 2 hours of this stream. I'm going to try and cram all the rest of the next psyop into this third hour. I don't really want to go longer than 3 hours tonight. So I'm going to try and cram all the rest of the stuff into the final hour, which is going to be a lot of stuff to go over. So stick around. We still got this other major psychological operation to break down. And this other psychological operation, much like this Maduro operation, is designed to divide the left and the right. So check it out, guys. A woman in Minnesota was supposedly shot by ICE agents, and they have the public split down the middle. If you are a right-winger, you're going to think that the lady tried to run over the police, the ICE agents, I should say, and that she got killed in an act of self-defense by the ICE agents. And if you're a right-winger, you're glad the ICE agents are in Minnesota getting rid of illegals, because right-wingers hate illegals being here illegally and they want them gone. Now, if you are a lefty, you like the fact that there's illegals here illegally and you support all illegals, and you think that the lady was murdered for no reason. She was just trying to drive away innocently. She was in a wrong place, wrong time. She was an innocent onlooker. She's just trying to drive away, and the ICE agents killed her on purpose. So they got this issue and the Maduro issue to where they can split the righties and the lefties just perfectly. Imagine that. 2 incidents go down that split the right and the left just perfectly. What are the odds? Oh, I'd say pretty damn good when these events are scripted. Doxological Thinker says, Alex Jones crashing out from too many comedy requests. Folks, we got people thinking that I'm not really the AJ that I used to be. Quite frankly, as you can see, clearly it's not the same AJ. Of course it's me. I still got the same lines on my head. I don't know how anybody could think that it's not the same AJ. I don't mean to brag, but of course it's not the same AJ. Folks, we got too many people asking me to do too many things. Got people tugging on me from the left, tugging on me from the right. We got people trying to kill me. If I leave the studio right now, there's somebody who's going to aim a friggin' laser at my friggin' head. I got deep state globalists trying to end my life, just like they're trying to kill Trump. Everywhere I go, it's like I got to have eyes in the back of my head from all these deep state fucking globalists trying to kill me. And you know what? It's sad, but it also makes me hungry. And the only thing that can cure this hunger that rages deep down within is a bucket of deep fried ass. That's right. I'm going to deep fry some of my neighbor's ass. I got a whole bucket load of neighbor's ass meat sitting in the freezer that I've been waiting to deep fry. It's thawing out right now. Later on tonight, I'm going to bread this neighbor's ass meat, and I'm going to fry it up, and I'm going to eat me a feast of my neighbor's ass. It's going to happen here tonight. I'm getting sick of all these comedic requests coming in. This is a serious show. We run a very serious program, folks. I'm seriously going to eat my neighbor's ass like corn on the cob. And it's not to freaking joke about. I'm sick of it. People joking. That sucked. That was like one of my worst ones ever. That was a shitty Alex Jones. Hey, not every one of them is going to be a home run. I started to run out of shit to say. And then the impression just petered out. Phew. Oh my God. It's like you guys don't want me to get to the next story. Borat asking Trump why Maduro's wife got a black eye and whose wife is hotter and why. You're the best. Borat. God, I haven't watched a Borat video in so long. Now I have to try and remember how he sounds. fuck. Borat. Fuck, dude. All I can remember Borat doing is being like, it's nice. It is nice. I am here in America to ask the American police why. See, I can't do it. I haven't practiced Borat and I don't have him fresh in my head. So I'm going to have to decline this one and you're going to have to give me a different request. I already can't think of anything to say. And this one's hard. So yeah, Kevin, I apologize, but this one, I don't got anything. I can't think of anything off the top of my head. The only thing I can remember Borat doing or saying is, it is nice. I like. I haven't watched a Borat video in probably 7-8 years or something. Anything else you can come up with? RY says, impression of Jake the Awake getting frustrated. He can't get through this show because of all the silly requests. You know what sucks about whiffing or not being able to pull something off is because earlier tonight I pulled off a bunch of shit. Like I pulled off so many different things so well that I'm proud of. To then get to a point where I'm like, okay, Borat. And how's Borat going to ask this question about Maduro's wife? And it's like, I haven't ever done a Borat impression. Nobody's ever asked me to do Borat. So it's like, that's like a new one. And so to then not be able to pull it off, now it's like I don't have an A+ stream. Now it's like this one part of the stream I got thrown off. So yeah, thank you for sending a super chat talking about how it's frustrating that I can't pull off all these silly requests. I try, you guys. I try my best to pull them all off, but every once in a while, one comes in that throws me off my game. And so, hey, I am a mortal man, and I do my best, but every once in a while, somebody will come up with a request that I don't fulfill very well. And that was one. So I pretty much fulfilled every request tonight except that one, the Borat one. And Kevin, if you can come up with some other character or some other impression that you know I can do, that you've seen me do before, I'll be glad to do it. Oh, shit. Okay, let me try and move on to this next topic. The lady in Minnesota getting shot. All right.
Large crowd gathered in Minneapolis tonight holding a vigil for 37-year-old Renee Nicole Good. She was shot and killed this morning by an ICE officer. Department of Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem claimed the officers were attacked and responded in self-defense. Eyewitnesses and the city's mayor disagree. And our Gio Insignares joins us live in studio with what led up to the shooting and why it is sparking outrage throughout the country, Gio.
Yeah, quite the situation here, Pat. Good evening to you. We do want to point out that federal officials and city leaders are offering those sharply different accounts of what happened. We've also been monitoring CBS Minnesota as this continues. Tonight, they reported public schools in Minneapolis will be closed for the rest of the school week due to safety concerns.
So a lady gets shot by ICE agents and they close the schools. Why would they close the schools? Well, that's so people are thinking about this event and talking about this event, right? So if parents don't take their kids to school, your day's changed and interrupted now. Now you got to figure out what to do with your kid for the day. And why? Because a lady got shot by ICE agents. See? So this is how they get an entire group of people in Minnesota to totally go along with this story that a lady was shot, because they canceled the classes, right? So this is another way for them to make it real for the people in Minnesota. Cancel some classes. And then they also have what looks like just hundreds of people here in the streets. So a lady gets shot by ICE agents and this many people show up. I find that tough to believe that this many people care about a lady in Minnesota.
Police officer. Department of Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem claims the officers were attacked and responded in self-defense. Eyewitnesses and the city's mayor disagree. And our GeoN Signares joins us live in studio with what led up to the shooting and why it is sparking outrage throughout the country, Gio.
Yeah, quite.
All right. I got some more super chats coming in. Hey, I love you guys. I appreciate all the support tonight. The support is overwhelming tonight. And I couldn't thank you guys more. You know, what a job that I have here to be able to bring you guys truth and comedy and have you guys here supporting me like this. I appreciate it. Doxological Thinker says, don't sell yourself short, bro. Your stream is A++++++. Truly one of the best streams yet. Well, thank you very much. And we still got this whole story to get through here. So I still got plenty of info to break down for you guys. And thank you for the multiple super chats tonight, brother. RY says, Jake, all your impressions were awesome. I was just sympathizing with you that you can't get the show done because of all these requests. You rock. Slowly but surely, we're getting through all the super chats and getting the show done. So we're off and rolling. Once I show this clip, I'll show you a few more news clips, and I'll give you my conclusion on this event. But we're going to get it done. Usually my streams go about 3 hours anyway, so we're on schedule. I think I can show you guys what I need to show you and wrap this one up in the next hour. Thank you, RY, for the multiple super chats. RY, whichever you want to go by.
The situation here, Pat. Good evening to you. We do want to point out that federal officials and city leaders are offering those sharply different accounts of what happened. We've also been monitoring CBS Minnesota as this continues. Tonight, they reported public schools in Minneapolis will be closed for the rest of the school week due to safety concerns. In the meantime, the community there angry and sad. Crowds gathering in Minneapolis, Minnesota Wednesday night, holding a vigil for 37-year-old Renee Nicole Good.
Renee Nicole Good. Her last name is Good. Good thing her last name is Good and not Evil. Renee Nicole Evil. Or Renee Nicole Shitty, Terrible, Bad Person. No, Renee Nicole Good. That's her name. Of course it is. And all these people showed up because Renee Nicole Good got shot. Hey, would all those people show up if Renee Nicole Good got shot by a gang member? You know, like a Cript. If a Cript was to shoot Renee Nicole Good, would all these people show up? Or did they only show up because she was supposedly shot by an ICE agent? So apparently, in order to have this many people show up and do a candlelight vigil and protest over your wrongful death as if you're shot by an ICE agent. If you're a lady who gets shot by some fucking gang member, would there be this outrage? I bet not. So they want us to believe, because this lady was killed by an ICE agent, that this many people care. Not only this many people, but also in other cities, people are showing up and protesting in other cities as well, including where I live in California. I'm going to show that in a minute.
Minnesota Wednesday night, holding a vigil for 37-year-old Renee Nicole Good, demanding transparency and accountability. A makeshift shrine of flowers and candles was placed on a patch of snow near where the shooting happened. One witness who saw the shooting called it unjustified.
She didn't try to hit you. You was just shooting inside of a car. Like you was following the car, shooting her inside of the car and stuff like that. So Nah, she ain't try to hit you at all. You really just killed that lady for nothing.
Authorities say Good was shot and killed during an ICE operation Wednesday morning in South Minneapolis. Federal officials say agents were blocked in by protesters when they approached Good's SUV. This cell phone video shows agents surrounding a red SUV and attempting to pull.
All right, here is the footage. And this is what they're showing everyone in all the news broadcasts. This is the footage. Pay close attention.
The driver out of the car. She starts to drive off moments before 3 shots are fired. It's unclear, though, from the video whether the vehicle made contact with an agent.
That's it, you guys. And then it crashes into another vehicle. So what do we see? What are we looking at?
To pull the driver out of the car. She starts to drive off moments before 3 shots are fired. It's unclear, though, from the video whether the vehicle made contact with an agent.
So it just so happens they have this obscure view where you don't actually get to see anyone get shot. How about that? It's an obscure view where you don't see any lady get shot. Let's be honest with ourselves. What do we see? Do we see a lady get shot? No, we do not.
Attempting to pull the driver out of the car. She starts to drive off moments before 3 shots are fired. It's unclear, though, from the video whether the vehicle made contact with an agent. According to CBS Minnesota, the car traveled another several feet before crashing into another vehicle.
The ICE officer, fearing for his life and the other officers around him and the safety of the public, fired defensive shots.
Okay, so here's how they split the right and the left on this one. Right-wingers are going to say, she tried to run over the officers, so they acted in self-defense. Left-wingers are going to say, she's innocent and was just trying to drive away. Because right-wingers want ICE to deport illegals, so they're going to defend ICE actions. So most right-wingers are going to take the stance that this lady tried to run over ICE. And so ICE acted in self-defense. Whereas the lefties are going to say that this lady's an innocent bystander who wasn't even involved and was just trying to drive away. And the ICE agents murdered her. See how that works? And what do we get? We get an obscure view of an event that can be misconstrued one way or the other, right? So if you're telling this story and you're a right-winger, did you see that lady try to run over them ICE agents and then they shot her? Or did you see that poor innocent lady who was trying to get away from those terrible ICE agents and then they shot her? See how that works? So you can see this from a right-wing perspective or a left-wing perspective, and it just happens to ride that line just perfectly to where if you're a right-winger, you defend the actions of ICE. If you're a left-winger, you defend the innocent victim. So there you go. The Maduro incident and the Minnesota incident, splitting the right and left just perfectly. What are the odds?
Starts to drive off moments before 3 shots are fired. It's unclear, though, from the video whether the vehicle made contact with an agent. According to CBS Minnesota, the car traveled another several feet before crashing into another vehicle.
The ICE officer, fearing for his life and the other officers around him and the safety of the public, fired defensive shots.
Department of Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem said the woman tried to run the agent over with her car, describing the incident as an act of domestic terrorism.
He used his training to save his own life and that of his colleagues.
A claim Minneapolis leaders strongly dispute.
That is. This was an agent recklessly using power that resulted in somebody dying.
Federal officials have.
And this guy right here puts on an act and he overacts. He's like, it's bullshit. ICE needs to get the fuck out of here. So this is the mayor of Minneapolis. And the first thing he does is say, ICE needs to get the fuck out of here. This is bullshit. So they have him cuss to make him act like to make it out like he's really outraged over this.
That of his colleagues.
A claim Minneapolis leaders strongly dispute.
That is. This was an agent recklessly using power that resulted in somebody dying.
Federal officials have identified Good as a U.S. citizen and say she was not a target of an immigration arrest. City leaders say she was acting as a legal observer. LA County Supervisor Janice Hahn, who served with Noem in Congress, says the shooting raises concerns far beyond Minnesota and into our own backyard.
This is the next thing that could happen here in LA County. They could shoot one of these observers, which this woman in Minneapolis was an unarmed observer.
So she's either a lady who tried to run down an ICE agent with her vehicle, or she's just an innocent observer. Which is it? Say they want you to make that determination. And if you make the determination she was an innocent observer, well, you still are going along with the narrative that she got shot. And if you say she tried to run over the ICE agent and the police shot her, well, then you're still going along with their narrative that she's shot. See how that works?
Hahn says she's encouraging residents to continue documenting ICE operations, stressing that people have a constitutional right to observe government activity, while also urging them not to put themselves in harm's way. No! Noem says the officer involved had previously been injured in a separate incident last year. When
Doxological Thinker, who sent multiple super chats tonight, says, or excuse me, not Doxological Thinker, Local Enterprise Broadcasting. My bad. Local Enterprise Broadcasting with a super chat says, Shakespeare said it best, all the world's a stage. And you know what? Shakespeare was probably a made-up, planted character in history, right? So the fact that Shakespeare said that is a part of the script as well.
she says he was dragged by a vehicle during an anti-ICE protest, a detail she cited as context for his response. The shooting also comes amid a surge of more than 2,000 federal officers deployed to the Twin Cities and just blocks from where George Floyd was killed in 2020.
I'm just so disgusted by it.
This is like supposedly battling with
more
people.
Than 2,000 federal officers.
Like, look at this. Look at this footage.
Deployed to the Twin Cities and just blocks from where George Floyd was killed.
Watch, they like spray this person who's just standing there.
In 2020.
I'm just so...
This guy's blocking this person with an umbrella, and then this ICE agent, he just casually reaches out and sprays. Do you guys see that? What? Okay. Sure.
Oh, disgusted by it, but I'm also so disappointed by it. This is not the federal government that I think we all deserve to have.
Our sister station in Minneapolis, WCCO.
So a lot of the news broadcasts will bring up George Floyd because it happened in the same area. And so they throw back to the George Floyd incident. So several of these news broadcasts bring up George Floyd event as a comparison to this one. Anybody remember what was going on just before the George Floyd incident? Anyone remember? It was 2020. I remember. I'm one of the few people who remembers, and we'll talk about it. So there were protests happening over people's businesses being shut down by the government. People weren't allowed to open up their businesses, and they were freaking out. And there were small communities of people protesting against the coronavirus lockdowns. Real protests were happening. So what they did was they had this George Floyd event, and then all of the protesters on TV were holding BLM signs, Black Lives Matter signs, and talking about George Floyd, and all mention of the word protest was related to George Floyd. So just before the George Floyd thing went down, the word protest was associated with people protesting against the government for not allowing them to run their businesses and for telling them to lock down. Coronavirus protests were happening, and they squelched it shut it all down with the George Floyd event. All the news coverage talking about a protest was related to George Floyd. All of the coverage showed people protesting with Black Lives Matter signs. Literally the week before that, people were protesting against the government. That got swept underneath the rug completely by the George Floyd thing. In my hometown of Modesto, all the lefties who were like, oh, wear a mask, stay 6 feet apart, stay home. They went out and protested and walked and were useful idiots. They walked around downtown with signs that say George Floyd was innocent, Black Lives Matter. So people in my hometown participated in the phony protests. They were like useful idiots taking part in the George Floyd protests. Meanwhile, these were the same morons that told you to stay home, wear a mask, stay 6 feet apart. So the liberals in my hometown who were too chicken shit to protest the coronavirus or the lockdowns, they were more than willing to put on a mask and go protest over George Floyd. So the fact that they're recalling that event through this event is to remind you that that event happened and that this event is similar. That's what they want you to think. They want you, the viewer, to be like, oh, yeah, this is like George Floyd, or this is similar to George Floyd, or this took place in the same area, right?
Reporting that the shooting is being investigated by the FBI and the Minnesota Bureau of Criminal Apprehension. The ICE officer has not been publicly identified. Pat?
All right. Thanks so much for that, Gia.
All right. Let me get to the next video. And these are going to go quick. These won't take as long to get through. So let's check out another angle of the supposed shooting.
They're approaching.
Yeah,
okay.
This one is the front angle. Now, I want to point out before I even show this, we're going to have the exact same issue as the last footage.
Agents just pulling up here. The vehicle is
Lower
right there.
And it happens so fast that it's hard to see what takes place in this particular video, but that is the front angle. And then we have also obtained some video from behind where it happens, but that is the vehicle that belongs to the woman who was killed today. And as Randy said, there were 3 agents in particular surrounding the car. It's unclear why she was parked at an angle in the street or what was happening in the street at that time. We do know that as they approached her vehicle, one agent told her to get out of the car, and then we see the car start to move, and then we hear the shots.
So that video you just saw is the one that President Trump also viewed. The vehicle is
Lower
right there.
And it happens so fast.
See, guys, it's obscured. We just so happen to get more obscured footage. So here's the front angle.
Up here. The vehicle is
Lower
right there.
And we miss all of it, basically. So we still don't get to see any lady getting shot in this footage either. How about that? More obscured footage. All right, and I'll get to Elmo having a conversation with George Floyd in just a minute.
And it happens so fast that it's hard to see what takes place in this particular video, but that is the front angle. And then we have also obtained some video from behind.
And look how blurry everything is. Everything's always blurry. So nobody's got any 4K footage. Everybody just happened to be shooting in like 480p, right? The highest I can go on this video is 720. So everyone's got 4K capabilities with their phone, and all these cameras now are shooting in crystal clear 4K. But no, we get this obscured ass footage.
Here, the vehicle is
Lower
right there.
And it happens so fast that it's hard to see what takes place in this particular video, but that is the front angle.
It happens so fast, it's hard to see what takes place, right? And then they re-show the other footage on this news clip.
Very quickly, we're going to try to get to a point where we can maybe slow this down and show you some still shots. But as Randy was saying, we see all of the agents standing in the street, nobody on the ground. They were attempting to push out their vehicle, and a woman attacked them and those surrounding them.
Now watch this. They go up to the vehicle. This is right after the lady's supposedly been shot, and it crashes. And then look what we see.
And attempted to run them over and
somebody's in the vehicle, but we don't get to see who. Like, what in the hell is this that we're looking at? Somebody's in that vehicle. That can't be the lady who was shot, because your body wouldn't take that position if you were dead. So clearly this is somebody who's opened the door and is leaning in there. And look, they don't show anything inside there. It's like it's purposely left blurry so that we can't fucking tell anything that's happening here. Like, what are we even looking at? Do they want me to believe that, like, this is the lady who got shot, whose legs are you wouldn't be able to stand like this. So this can't be the lady who got shot. You guys see what I'm saying? Like, what are we even looking at? Like, that would have to be somebody else reaching in there. So they show us this on the news, but they don't explain any of this.
Over and rammed them with her vehicle. An officer of ours acted quickly and defensively, shot to protect him.
And then this police officer comes over and points
with her vehicle. An officer of ours acted quickly and defensively, shot to protect himself and the people around him. My understanding is she was...
Like, what did we just see?
Vehicle, and a woman attacked them and those surrounding them and attempted to run them.
All right, straight up, you guys, that is some weird shit. So when I got to this point, I was like, what are we even looking at? A dead lady can't have her foot standing up like that outside the door. That doesn't make any sense. So she died, but then she opened up the door and stayed standing and hunched over. Because this isn't like a police officer reaching in there. So what the hell is this?
Over and rammed them with her vehicle. An officer of ours acted quickly and defensively, shot to protect himself and the people around him. My understanding is she was hit and is deceased, and we've confirmed that.
All right. So, okay, and then what is this? Somebody's head that we can see through? We could see through that person's head.
Around him. My understanding.
Look at this footage, you guys, when I go frame by frame. Look at this person's head. Look at this. What the fuck are we looking at? Jake, you think everything's fake. Jake just says that everything's fake. Yeah, and for good reason. So a lot of times people will try and discredit my work, and they'll say, Jake's a conspiracy theorist who just says that everything's fake. He thinks everything's fake. He doesn't think that anyone ever dies. That's how they attack me and try and discredit me. Meanwhile, look at all the shit that I've shown you guys tonight. How real is any of it? The Maduro transmission video that we watched, and now this. Like, what in the fuck are we looking at? The Maduro dance party video? This person's face who we can see through? The person standing outside the vehicle that nobody's bringing up? Right?
Attempted to run them.
I don't hear anyone else talking about this person standing inside the vehicle right here. What the hell's going on?
Over and rammed them with her vehicle. An officer of ours acted quickly and defensively, shot to protect himself and the people around him. My understanding is she was hit and is deceased, and we've confirmed that. This goes to show the assaults that our ICE officers and law.
So what do you guys think? Are we looking at just straight up AI footage? Is this just artificially intelligent, thrown together creation being passed off as a real event? Is that what we're looking at? I mean, I've got more questions than answers. All right. So let me pull up a... so we're going to get back into this PSYOP in just a second. Let me pull up a George Floyd video while I use the restroom, and then I'll come back and I'll do Elmo and George Floyd.
Saw my homegirl Nikki from South Lawn lost her son, man. Our young generation is clearly lost, man. Clearly lost, man. Like I don't even know what to say no more, man. Like, you youngsters just going around, just busting guns in crowds, kids getting killed, you know, and it's clearly the generation after us, man, that's so lost, man. You know, man, I came into Houston, told me, yeah, Floyd, that young truth, man, right there, because he could bust a gun. Man, I knew it was crazy then. My age saying this here, man. You know what I'm saying? And condoning this, bro. You know what I'm saying? And like half them young shooting them guns go home and they knees shaking at night. But they don't show it to nobody because, you know, they ain't tough then. Hey, man, come on home, man. One day it's going to be you and God. You going up or you going down. You know what I'm saying? Saw my homegirl Nikki from South Lawn lost her son, man. Our young generation is clearly lost, man. Clearly lost, man. Like I don't even know what to say no more, man. Like, you youngsters just going.
Man, I don't know what's up with these youngsters, man. Our generation clearly lost, man. All these youngsters out there, they be pulling out guns, they be shooting each other, man. They even be killing kids, man. You believe kids be running around with these guns, man, and these people there, and they be shaking, they be shooting and they shaking in their knees, man. Man, it's crazy out there, man. People need to be waking up what's going on out there, man.
Elmo totally agrees. All these young busters who are waving around guns and killing kids, it's terrible. Elmo will not stand for this atrocity going on. Elmo totally agrees with George Floyd that all these little busters need to wake up right now and get their act together.
Yeah, man. Elmo, you know, he ain't just a puppet, man. He be giving you words of wisdom and stuff, man. Like, Elmo, you know, he be growing up on Sesame Street. He ain't had to see the violence go down with all these young bloods with these guns, you know what I'm saying, killing kids.
Elmo never had to experience this level of violence on Sesame Street, and Elmo is very glad that he got to live on Sesame Street with Big Bird and never have to witness such atrocities. It makes Elmo sick to Elmo's stomach. The young busters are out there shooting each other and killing kids.
There you go. Elmo having a conversation with George Floyd. Bada bing, bada boom. We still got more to break down with this Minnesota thing. And see, there the news is tying it back to the George Floyd incident. So it's funny that you brought him up. Okay, so after the actually, I got one more video, and then I'll get into the protests in other cities outside of Minnesota.
Balls at local law.
We want to continue our team coverage now with Fox 9's Leon Purvis.
He's been on scene since early this afternoon. And Leon, you saw protesters throwing snowballs at local law enforcement who were there for crowd control, also blocking and pounding vehicles when those federal agents were on scene. You also
People are throwing snowballs at the ICE agents. And it just so happens to be 33 degrees. What are the chances?
also spoke to some people who gave you their account of what they saw.
Yes, Randy, Kelsey, it's been a long day for many people. When I came here, protesters were asking Minneapolis police to arrest ICE. Now, they were at it for hours. Just take a look at the video yourself. Local law enforcement broke.
Did you guys see the one lady throw one snowball and it went like a fucking couple feet in the air and just didn't hit anyone? Come on, y'all.
For hours. Just take a look at the video yourself. Local law enforcement broke down.
Did you guys see it?
For hours. Just
watch. This person right here, it looks like a lady, I don't know, throws like this little snowball that just goes, boop. It doesn't even hit anybody. Come on. Come on, y'all. What the fuck are we looking at? And of course, it's the orange sweater. Gotta be the orange sweater. They said that these people were throwing snowballs at ICE, throwing snow at ICE. Hey, I don't like you, ICE. So I'm going to throw some snow at ICE. That'll make them go away. That'll help bring that lady back to life. Hey, you stupid ICE agents, get out of here. There. I'm going to grab another, I'm going to make another snowball. Get out of here. Fuck you, ICE. Leave. I'll throw a snowball at you. Look at this. Frame by frame, we're going to watch the worst snowball throw ever. It's like an AI snowball throw. So the person in the sweater has the snowball, has to grab hold of this signpost for leverage to really get some extra power on the snowball throw. I'm sorry, but that's the stupidest fake snowball throw I've ever seen. And then, of course, Mexican flag. So they want you guys to believe, they want the sheeple at home to believe, Mexicans care so much about a white lady who got shot by ICE that they're going to go out and wave the Mexican flag and throw snowballs at ICE agents. Mexicans care that much about a white lady. Now, again, if this white lady was shot by a gang member, would they still do this? Or only because she was shot by ICE? Would they still care this much if she stepped in front of a bus? No. It's because ICE killed her. So they're outraged. So much so they're going to throw snow at ICE. Makes perfect sense. Of course.
Section as protesters followed and they threw snowballs at police. Once police left, the community blocked off the road to hold a community vigil for Renee Nicole Good. And I talked to one eyewitness who saw everything unfold this morning.
I heard commotion from about a half a block away. I walked towards the scene and there was a maroon Honda kind of sideways in the road. and people were shouting, like, move your car, you're obstructing the road. And the car began to back up and then pull forward at maybe 2 miles an hour. And then someone started to shout, no, no. And then a moment later, 4 or 5 shots were fired into the vehicle.
There was definitely not 5 shots. So they have the eyewitness adding extra shots. There wasn't 5. I don't remember hearing 5 shots.
But this lady right there, she was just trying to help somebody else. Stop. All right, call the police. Call the police on her. Instead of trying to snatch your car door open, go over there and do the proper thing. Don't do it aggressively. How's that going to get solved?
Man, it's like when Ice Cube got blackballed from Oprah, man. Just call the police, man. Man, why don't you just be calling? Why are you trying to snatch your door open, man? It's crazy. I was like, what? And they was like, yeah. And I was like, fuck that. And they was like, hell no. Nah. And I was like, yeah.
Again, these are eyewitnesses. There's a lot of unknown with a lot of unanswered questions as this is under investigation. But one thing is for certain, the community was loud and clear on how they felt about today's event, and they're actually still going behind me over my shoulder chanting F ICE. That is what they're chanting over and over again.
Because that's what you do. You get together and you chant fuck ICE over and over and over and over again. Now, does that bring the lady back to life? Does it get rid of ICE? No, it doesn't do either of those two things, but it makes these people feel better, apparently, to shout fuck ICE. Sure, that sounds exactly like what a bunch of Mexicans would do after a white lady gets shot.
Live in Minneapolis, Leon Purvis, Fox 9.
So this is where the story gets absolutely even more ridiculous than what you've already seen. So now they want you to believe that that lady who was shot yesterday, that people around the country are so outraged that people in different states are also rallying and protesting. So here in California, there was 3 different news reports saying that people were marching and protesting in San Francisco, Oakland, and Sacramento. And then I also see reports that there was a protest in Boston and Detroit, right? So they're showing the other protests happening in other states because of this one lady who was shot, supposedly. Impression of RSK news reporting on the scene, on ICE. One sec. Let me pull up my next video so I have it ready to go. And then I'll do some RFK. So they want you to believe that there's protests happening now in other cities. So people saw on the news a lady get shot, and they're so outraged that they decide to gather together and protest outside of federal buildings in other liberal cities. How about that? Shit, I thought I had the video pulled up. One sec. Here it is. So it says Detroit and other U.S. cities erupt in protest over ICE shooting in Minnesota.
The memorial in Minneapolis tonight. Family, friends, and community members are getting together in South Minneapolis to remember Renee Nicole Good, who was fatally shot by an ICE agent during a federal immigration operation.
I am truly saddened by what has taken place in Minneapolis. It truly brings a tear to my eye when I heard the news that somebody's life was lost in this terrible, unfortunate situation. But we have to face the facts, and the facts are that ICE agents were trying to get this woman to stop her vehicle and to exit her vehicle and comply with instructions. However, it appeared that the woman in the vehicle tried to run over the ICE agents, and the ICE agents unfortunately had to act in self-defense. So therefore, I stand in support of the ICE agents who had to do what they had to do in this unfortunate circumstance. It's never an easy job to be forced to take someone's life. But in this incident, you can clearly see the ICE agent's life was in jeopardy by the woman behind the wheel. Now, we don't know the mental state of this woman who was driving or why she decided to try to run down this ICE agent. This whole thing is very unfortunate. I want to reach out to all the citizens who are watching right now. Let's not let this violence overcome us. We need to work together. We are here in one great nation, and we need to come together and stand in unity. All right. Sorry to run out of what I wanted to have RFK say. Like, all right, now I need to have him wrap this up. So I stand 100% support behind the ICE agents' decision to unfortunately end this woman's life. There you go. There's RFK reporting. All right.
That operation ending with two very different versions of what led up to that shooting. ICE calls it self-defense. The mayor calls it reckless abuse of power. Good evening, everybody. I'm Roop Raj. We begin tonight with video from the scene and a warning for you. It is graphic. 37-year-old Renee Nicole Good was shot in front of a family member in a snowy residential neighborhood. Called the shooting reckless and demanded that ICE leave town.
They are already trying to spin this as an action of self-defense. Having seen the video of myself, I want to tell everybody directly, that is bullshit. There's little I can say, again, that'll make this situation better, but I do have a message for our community, for our city, and I have a message for ICE. To ICE, get the out of Minneapolis.
Guys, come on. The overacting here by the mayor.
To ICE, get the out of Minneapolis.
So I have a message here for ICE. Get the fuck out of Minneapolis. And I'm also going to say, this is bullshit. I'm going to say the word bullshit. And I'm going to say the word fuck. And since I'm the mayor, people have never heard me cuss like this before. So that's how you know that I'm truly outraged. You've never heard a man of my stature ever use cuss words like this before. But in this situation, I think it's warranted to say that it's not only bullshit, but ICE, you need to get the fuck out of Minneapolis right now. The overacting is over the top in this psyop. Steve Paula says, bust out that funky bass, man. Missed that jam. All right, let me get through a few more videos, and I'll try and play a little bit of bass to end the stream, all right? So I have a few more videos I need to get through to put a bow on this Minneapolis psyop. So I need to show you guys that they have some protests supposedly go down in other cities. And then supposedly some property at a federal building got damaged. So let me get to that, and then I will break out the bass to end the stream. All right, so we got the overacting by the mayor. And then the news in all these other liberal cities were making it out like they were also having protests in their city as well. So right here, like it says, demonstrators in Oakland protest, and demonstrators in San Francisco, protesters in Boston, right? So they're making it out like in all these other cities that there's protests going on over this lady.
I want to tell everybody directly, that is
Federal and local officials painting different portraits of the encounter that claimed a woman's life. Good evening, I'm Greg Lee. Homeland Security says an ICE agent shot 37-year-old Renee Nicole Good while she was in her car, and they claim she tried to run over other law enforcement. The shooting triggering a massive protest and vigil in Minneapolis and similar rallies across the country. Demonstrators calling for accountability for that ICE agent who has not been identified.
All they have to do is just claim that there's protests happening in the other cities. They don't actually got to show you any of the real protests going on. There doesn't have to be any protests. They can just say people are taking to the streets in Oakland. People are taking to the streets in San Francisco. But I'm noticing they're doing it with liberal cities, of course, you know, like Detroit, Oakland, San Francisco, Boston. But then this one that happened in Sacramento, they're taking it a step further and claiming that these people are damaging federal property. So now they're taking it to a level to where they're saying a lady got shot in Minnesota. And because a lady got shot in Minnesota, people in Sacramento, where I live, are damaging property at federal buildings. Yeah, okay.
In Minnesota. Now, here at the park, things remained pretty calm. There were kids here, dogs, and some elderly community right now, where more than 100 people gathered to condemn what happened in Minnesota. Now, here at the park, things remained pretty calm. There were kids here, dogs, and some elderly community members, but just a few blocks away, tensions definitely rose and things got a bit more heated, with protesters shaking the John Moss Federal Building's gates and setting fire to the American flag. Broken hearts and calls to action from Minneapolis to Sacramento.
Tonight, we came out here to honor Renee Good.
Video capturing the moment an ICE agent fatally shot 37-year-old Renee Good during protests against ICE raids in Minneapolis Wednesday morning. People across the nation expressing outrage over the incident. And here in Northern California, locals are standing together in solidarity, united in their sadness and frustration.
But we're also showing the government that we are not okay with this new status quo and that they will be faced with the resistance.
Some federal officials calling the ICE agent's gunfire an act of self-defense, claiming Good.
We're mourning, but I think it's also a moment that is kind of lighting a fire under us again that we cannot stop.
And just down the street, flames ablaze.
So they have this video here depicting people burning an American flag. This looks like it could be AI as well. So they want you to believe here in Sacramento, these people heard about the lady get shot by the ICE agent, and they decided to go to a federal building here in California and burn an American flag because a lady in Minnesota got shot. Sorry, I'm not buying that. I'm not buying that these people give a shit about a white lady in Minnesota. So much so that they're going to go to a federal building and risk getting arrested by burning an American flag in front of a federal building. Not buying that for a second.
Tensions building, the rattling of gates. Protesters taking to Capitol Mall. Here outside the John Moss Federal Building, you can hear all the passion in people's voices. People have been honking their horns driving by, and now people who showed up here today tell us they have been lining up all day long. Community members calling on lawmakers to take decisive action, condemning ICE and fighting for the abolishment of the agency.
People are being brutalized, and I'm a firm believer that the only way oppression continues is when we stay silent about it and we do nothing.
This is just a demonstration that everyone who falls in this fight, we are with. And here locally, we will be with everyone who takes a stand against these injustices.
Every time a person gets killed by ICE, there's going to be this much outrage, is what she's saying. So every time ICE takes the life of an innocent victim, people all over the country are going to take to the streets and protest. Right. Sure. Okay.
The local protests seem to have come to an end for now, but just about an hour or so ago, our team did see law enforcement coming out to inspect that broken gate and speaking with some remaining protesters. So stick with Fox 40 for updates.
All right, so in just a minute, we'll take a look at the broken gate that supposedly the protesters damaged. I'll show you guys. It's just basically a gate. It doesn't look like anything's wrong with it. So they want you to believe because a lady got shot in Minnesota that a gate is damaged in California by people who are angry over the lady getting shot in Minneapolis. Okay, sure. All right. RY3926 wants me to do an impression of the mayor of Minneapolis arguing with Macho Man.
So I see what's going on in Minneapolis, and I gotta say, the Macho Man is glad that the ICE agents are out there rounding up illegals and getting rid of all these illegals who are poisoning this great nation. Oh, yeah.
Macho Man, that's absolute bullshit. ICE needs to get the fuck out of here. The people who are here, you don't know that they're here illegally. And just because someone's here illegally doesn't mean they don't have the right to be here. How dare you say that, Macho Man?
Well, how dare you speak back to a man of my stature who could quite literally take my fist and shove it down your little Nancy boy throat. Oh, yeah. If you'd like to step into the squared circle with the Macho Man, I'd be glad to show you a good time. Oh, yeah.
Macho. Not enough I hear right now. The message to you, Macho Man, and a message to ICE. Get the fuck out of Minneapolis. Don't ever come back. There you go. Macho Man arguing with the mayor of Minneapolis. All right, now let's take a look at this gate that these protesters supposedly destroyed. Whew. And thank you guys for sticking around with me. I know it's been a long stream, but there is just a lot of stuff to get to. Shit. Did I miss it? One sec, guys. I'm trying to locate my next video. Here it is. Okay. I wanted to show you guys the supposed vandalism that happened because it's ridiculous.
A woman inside her car during an ICE operation today in Minneapolis.
She was identified as Renee Nicole Good. And as protests continue, I want you to take a look at the scene outside the John Moss Federal Building in downtown Sacramento tonight. The building houses Immigration and Customs Enforcement in the capital city. And as you can see there, the building has been vandalized.
So a lady gets shot in Minnesota. And so here in Sacramento, thousands of miles away, a federal building gets vandalized. And what do they put? A cab, as in all cops are bastards. War is coming, right?
And we'll have more from Minneapolis.
No way that can be staged.
And as you can see there, the building has been vandalized.
And we'll have more from Minneapolis in just a moment. But first, ABC 10's Garshpal Sangha is live in downtown Sacramento right now with a closer look at protests tonight. Garshpal, tell us about the scene right now and what you saw tonight.
Yeah, Chris and Laura, right now, all those protesters have since gone, but their messages still remain here on the sidewalks. And some of those messages read that many of it mention the name Renee Good. Others messages say no one is illegal, no one should die. But as we go zoom in further in, you can take a look at that damage to that fence.
What are they showing us? We're looking at chalk on the ground and a fucking gate that doesn't really look damaged. And then they're zooming in and it's all dark, like we're supposed to see a damaged gate. Like, what are they even showing us?
Renee Good. Others messages say no one is illegal, no one should die. But as we go zoom in further in, you can take a look at that damage to that fence as Dante zooms in. That is steel. That there was a small group of demonstrators that turned to vandalism, and you can take a look at that fence.
This is ridiculous. So a lady in Minnesota gets shot, and people show up to a federal building in California and damage this gate and write stuff with chalk on the ground. And then you have this news camera showing us this? What? Like we're sitting here like, oh my God, look at that damage that those people did. Clearly this is damaged to beyond repair. I mean, God damn, look at all the damage. Holy cow.
Cut off the steel. That's a 90-degree turn, because usually that gate, as we zoom out, that gate usually stays on its track. But tonight, that is not going to close. That is one form of vandalism that a small group of demonstrators were told did. The other one, there was a vehicle that was damaged here at the John Moss Federal Building that SAC PD told us. And right now, they're still.
Do you guys see any damage? I see some chalk on the ground. There's some chalk. And then a gate. I don't see any damage.
Going through and assessing exactly what happened here. But let's go and show you video of the protests outside the ICE Federal Building in downtown Sacramento. Witnesses tell us, aside from the small group that turned to vandalism, the protests mostly stayed peaceful, chanting and calling for accountability. Earlier in the evening, an immediate call for
Gate will never be solved. We will never get to the bottom of who destroyed that gate.
Action spread online, urging people to gather at Fremont Park. The message accusing DHS of using fear to keep people inside their homes and calling for solidarity with Minneapolis.
So if there's an incident that happens in Minnesota, they want you to believe that all these people are so outraged that they met up thousands of miles away. That would take a lot of organization. Because this all happened like within a day. Like the lady gets shot the day before. So the very next day, every major liberal city has a protest of their own. In order to set up and organize a protest in every major liberal city like that would mean that the whole thing has to be set up and organized. The whole thing has to be scripted, right? There's no way all these people are organically deciding to show up and set up protests on their own because they're outraged within a day of finding out that a lady got shot. But that's what they want you to believe, that all these protests are happening organically in all these major liberal cities.
DHS of using fear to keep people inside their homes and calling for solidarity with Minneapolis.
Thank you for coming out and standing up for what Renee Good was murdered for.
Thank you for coming out and standing up for what Renee was murdered for.
Protecting her neighbors, using her First Amendment.
A woman was murdered doing what she loves, taking care of her community.
She was murdered doing what she loves.
Using her First Amendment.
A woman was murdered doing what.
This guy knows what happened. He knows that the lady was doing what she loved. And he's so upset and outraged, he's going to show up to a California protest thousands of miles from Minneapolis, and he's going to bring his megaphone and thank people for showing up. And then the news is there to catch this footage to show us.
Protecting her neighbors, using her First Amendment.
A woman was murdered doing what she loves, taking care of her community.
So guys, now we've went from a lady in Minnesota gets shot to a gate at a federal building gets damaged in Sacramento because the lady in Minnesota got shot. Like, you guys see how this one's like quite a big operation. They really want you to believe that people are outraged all over the country, that they're taking to the streets. Wow. All right. Now check this out. Wait, there's more. Got more for you. All right, here's a video I found floating around on Facebook.
Ahí va. Se murió. Sí.
Get the fuck out of here!
It's tough for you guys to see, but they have someone doing chest compressions on a body that we can't see. Watch. So is that supposed to be the lady that got shot? You're going to pull her out of the vehicle and drag her down the street and then do chest compressions? Like what even is this? This doesn't make sense either. So that was something I found on Facebook. Doesn't seem to make any sense, but just figured I'd show it to you guys. All right. And the location, which is important. Check this out. The location where the lady was supposedly shot was East 34th Street and Portland Avenue. So I saw people in the comments here saying it was on 33rd Street. No, it's on 34th Street, which is close enough. But here's the crazy part. East 34th Street and Portland Avenue. And then just as we were going live, there's reports of ICE agents killing 2 more people in Portland. So just as we were going live, the breaking news up to the minute is that 2 people have been killed by ICE agents in Portland. And this one happened on East 34th Street and Portland Avenue. Just a coincidence, right?
Jake, just because that lady was killed on Portland Avenue doesn't mean that 2 people being killed in Portland is weird. It's just a coincidence, okay? There's an avenue named after Portland, and then there's a city in Portland. Clearly, these ICE agents are just out there killing innocent people, Jake. It's not a coincidence. These evil ICE agents are out there killing folks. All right, so let's check out the up-to-the-minute story about this Portland shooting. So this just keeps going and going and going. See, this is why I told you guys we have a cram-packed show tonight. I'm still not even finished. Because now we have 2 people shot by federal agents in Portland.
with breaking news out of Oregon. Local and federal sources tell ABC News federal agents shot 2 people in Portland just a short time ago. We do not yet know the circumstances, but we do know that the agents involved, we are told, are with U.S. Customs and Border Protection. The FBI is now investigating. We're also learning that the Portland City Council stopped its meeting due to the shooting. Our Alex Stone joins us now from Los Angeles. Alex, what are you learning about the shooting in Portland today?
Yeah, Lindsay, all of this unfolding right now at a time of heightened tensions, obviously, in the country. We understand from Portland police that the call came in at around 2:24 today. 2:18, they got the call. They got on scene at 2:24 in this neighborhood that you see here where the patients were found. They say that it was a call of a federal agent shooting. When Portland police got there, they found 2 victims, a man and a woman. The FBI will end up being the lead agency on this, but Portland police were the first to get there and the ones to respond in to that scene. When they got there, they were injured. The shooting had occurred. The president of the city council said this a moment ago.
There was a shooting involving 2 Portlanders.
Oh, look, it's that same orange color that the snowball thrower had on. Same orange color as Maduro's shoes, right? How about that?
In East Portland with federal agents. We are still waiting for more details, but needed to pull counselors to get a briefing and an update so that we could ensure that we were prepared to respond.
All right, so now we got a shooting in Portland, and then the lady who got shot in Minneapolis was shot on Portland Avenue. ICE agents, right? Just so happens that the shooting in Portland also by ICE agents. So apparently they want you to believe that you could be killed by ICE agents. Any of us at any time can be killed by ICE agents. ICE agents are out there just whacking folks, right? So I guess we should all be scared of ICE agents, right? And last but not least, one of my subscribers brought something to my attention. It was on a post that I made yesterday. Let me find it real quick and I'll bring it up on screen. Here it is. So this is somebody who commented on a post that I made yesterday. Mark Lewin says, Jake, did you get the riddle behind the fake ICE incident? Supposedly an ICE agent shot a woman near Portland and 34th Streets yesterday in Minnesota. 5 hours later, in the NBA, CJ McCollum, drafted by Portland and is 34 years old, gets traded for Ice Trae Young. Holy shit. 34-year-old CJ McCollum of the Portland Trail Blazers gets traded for Ice Trae Young. How about that? So, there you go. That's a whole lot of information that we just went through. So, both the Maduro incident and the ICE incident, both of them are right versus left, split down the middle, or they're splitting the right and the left just perfectly. So we have to think that if these events were legitimate, that it just so happened to split the right and the left ever so perfectly. I think that's all the proof you need, that if the right and the left are getting split on both these incidents, that these incidents, of course, are fake and phony. So my conclusion is both these events are totally phony as fuck. So there you go. It took a long time to get through all of that, but we made it. And now that I've finally got through all of that, before we go, I'm going to plug up my bass and I'm going to slap some funky bass lines for you guys just before we say goodnight. All right. And this is a request from a super chat earlier tonight asking that I play the bass. Wonder if I'm in tune. Guess we'll find out. All right, it's getting late and I'm getting tired. Whew. Wow, it's been a long stream. I didn't even know I was going to play bass tonight, but there you go. Quick little bass jam crammed in at the very end. It looks like I had one last super chat come in, and I'll read that before I shut it down for tonight. Zualenti, hopefully I'm saying that right, says, acting like I am in Vegas and I see you on Fremont. I haven't been to Vegas in a few years. But have fun acting like you're in Vegas, seeing me on Fremont. Thank you very much, Zulent1. All right. Well, there you go, guys. Whew. After all that, I am tired. I'm hungry. And my dog wants to go out on a walk. Got a super sticker here from Angela Renee. Thank you, Angela. You're a sweetheart. Mwah. All right, guys. So hopefully you enjoyed that stream. I know there was a lot that we went over tonight, so you might need to go back and rewatch some of it. Do your own investigation. Come to your own conclusions. You don't have to take my word for it. Just because I think those incidents are totally phony baloney doesn't mean you have to think so. But you probably should. Steve Palace says, thanks, Jammy Jake. Thank you, Steve Palace. Hey, you guys tonight sent so many damn super chats that I could barely even get through the stream. But we did. We made it through. Thank you so much for the overwhelming support and all the super chats and all the comedic requests. You guys are awesome. And with that said, I need to get off here and eat some food and take my dog out on a walk. So thank you guys for hanging out with me. I had an excellent time. This was a good stream. Got a lot accomplished tonight. So I'll see you guys in the next stream or the next video, whichever happens first. Have a good night. Peace out. I love you guys. I really do. I love you guys. You're the best. Hit the thumbs up before you say good night, before you shut off the stream. Hit that thumbs up button. And I'll see you next time.